And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We just had a little bit of a technical issue right there, which is solved very quickly. And we are straight back into the game. They didn't lose anything. The first blood is right there. No worries at all.
I don't know how I sound right now, but I think we are okay. Yes, we have that start again. Nothing really serious right now into the early game, except from the various mistakes there. Things goes as we expected. The Camille pushes the top lane. The bottom lane with the advantage pushes back. The Rise tries to force Camille away from roaming away, so he constantly pushes the wave under the Camille's turret, getting a little bit of chip damage into the turret and also in here. But the Hungarian team, I still believe that they have the chips on the mid to late game. They want that late game really hard, but they have to do a lot of things in order to protect their carries into this late game because the Camille will be huge. We see that she's like a little bit up on the CS. Also, is Nocturne up on the CS against the Sejuani, but things are uh, pretty much even, except that game space is about 100 gold ahead, 104.
I wanted to say that now that the Rise has hit that level 6, while another bind lands right there and a lot of poke onto that Brom, they do have that tiny bit of an interval until that flash is up for the Varus. If they want to get something going on into that bot lane, they could. That flash is still not up. Rise does have his ultimate, but don't forget, on the other side, for the Hungarian team, there is a Talia here. Starts the Rise moving towards that bot lane right now. It is going to be a very deep, clever pink ward to see the Talia moving towards that bot side at any moment. And that flash will be very shortly up for the Varus, which considers him safe from any potential gank. But we will, of course, have to see because the Game Space team is very on the more aggressive side, as we said, and they do need to shine in that mid game if they want to go towards their win conditions for the late game.
You know, I'm still waiting for the pressure from Sejuani, especially in the mid lane, to a little bit help the Talia there. But I think that look at the Morgana and the Nocturne in the mid lane. They're trying to make a pick right there. They have left Ezreal in the bottom lane because you know that the Ezreal is a little bit tricky to catch. It's really difficult to catch the Ezreal, especially if you're not level 6. And we know that Varus is 5 and Brom is
let's face
4.
it, he's one of the safest farming ADCs you can leave in your bot lane without worrying that he might get caught off guard.
Okay, the smite from the Nocturne secures that Scuttle Crab, and it's huge for the game space side there because the Sejuani have to spend the dash forward in order to, because there is no blast con, I mean, so you have to dash. She has to dash into the bush in order to find the enemy, but she's not even 6, if I'm correct.
She's 6 right now, and if she does get the correct path, in which she did, if she does through that wall into the brush, she would have gone unnoticed, although all of the summoners are up for the Game Space duo in the bot lane and the Black Shield. Another bind is going to land on the Varus, but the Brom is there with his shield to block any initial damage that might come out from the Ezreal in that bot lane. I wanted to focus on the fact that all of the lanes for Game Space are ahead in CS, and especially the bot lane is tremendously ahead in CS, and we do have even the jungle, the mid lane, the top lane. What they're doing right now is working so well for their start to mid game. We need to see how they're gonna choose to use that power spike on their half items, their full items.
From the Varus. Sorry, the flash away from the Varus there with the ultimate from the Morgana.
Used wisely this time before any problems with the ignite go down. Really well played by the Morgana so far. They are playing so aggressive into the bot lane, knowing that every single other lane is so far ahead. And look at all those words in the jungle of Fountain's gaming. It's all fully blue. you will be able to see the Taliyah from wherever she choose to come from. And the Nocturne there, if I'm right, stole the red buff from the Sejuani.
Yes, game space players know what they are doing because they have invested a lot of money. If you see the control boards there, they have invested a lot of money from their early game in order to be safe and in order to have awarded one of the biggest right now objective into the game, which is this Ocean Drake. A lot of us will say that the Ocean Drake is not that good of an early game objective, but the truth is the exact opposite. The Ocean Drake into the early game could give you a lot of regeneration out of combat. So if you're Ezreal and Morgana, you can poke again and again and again. And with the Ocean Drake, if they manage to secure it early, I mean, before the laning phase is over, they will have a lot of things that
the
they
Nocturne
can
is
work
moving
with.
together with the Rise, and they have already picked that bot lane. There's no flash on the Varus, and look where the duo is coming from the mid lane. Oh
The
boy.
Ezreal is into the turret. Taliyah is caught, and she's probably dead. The Sen ultimate, she's dead. Rise claims the kill there. And now the bot lane has to back off, I think.
Oh, that bind didn't actually land for a little millimeter right there onto the Varus. And look how the Ezreal is playing around the enemy tower. He's literally underneath that enemy tier 1.
The spell shield on the Brom Q. Sejuani doesn't have an ulti.
The Morgana is nowhere near. That wave was not underneath the tower at the time they chose to pull the trigger on that Nocturne ultimate. So if the Morgana was dead, her ultimate was up, her flash was up, her ignite was up. A little bit more patience by GameSpace right there would have secured them the kill. But nevertheless, they do get the first blood tower in that bot lane for themselves. These are the key coordinations we talked about. So far, so good. It hasn't resulted in a lot of kills. 2 kills in 11 minutes for a super aggressive comp from the game space, but they are playing very safe because that Sejuani has been pushed so far back all of this game. It is a little bit unrealistic for the Sejuani to get into the fights right now with the Nocturne so far ahead.
And as you can see, Camille is going to answer the bottom lane of the Antis Gaming into the top lane, but that means practically that the game space can change or exchange that tower top with Ocean Drake if they want to. I mean, the Camille has even the teleport in order to force something around this dragon.
I'm not sure if that was miscommunication because the second the tower goes down, usually the laners swap straight away. The Camille chose to go top lane again, and now she's slowly but surely, I think, making her way down that bot lane to face the Shen. Might have been a little bit of a miscommunication right there. She won't mismatch. The Shen doesn't have that fast of a push yet. He does have the Tiamat right there, but there were like 2.
But the Camille has the scene in order to answer that.
And she did stop. She did stop in the mid lane as well. She's like stopping by every single lane she gets to, you know, to claim a few minions and then going towards that bot lane. She won't miss any at all, even if she misses maybe like 1 or 2 minions down there.
Well, you know, if I'm about to defend the Camille there, because the moment that Camille went onto the top lane, the Rift Herald hasn't spawned yet at the map, so she thought that, or he, the player, thought that I might go top because the only objective on the map is the Ocean Drake, so I'll be in the other side because I have the teleport. So practically it was a good call from the GameSpace team there to stay in the bot lane. I mean, they're both due to stay in the bot lane, but when the Herald spawned, and now they might have a problem. That's a wall from the Taliyah. They found...
the Nocturne is waiting the Tribus, though.
A lot of damage there from the Nocturne, but now he's dead. That's the ultimate from the Sejuani. Then they don't have a CC. I don't know.
The teleport!
Pathing there. Look at the Sejuani pathing there. Now Varus is dead, and I think the Camille might be dead. No.
Is running away. They do actually get away. It's a 2 for 1.
It's too messy to cast it. Look at behind and under the turret. The game space doesn't need they doesn't care at all about that turret. They just brute force the fight against Anticus Gaming.
It is a 14-minute ace for game space, and look at them, they move straight under the next tower. Very beautiful and clever ultimate right there from the Rise to grab all of this wave that they had, build it up and take it straight under the tier 2 tower. 2 towers in less than 1 minute for them, and a whole ace for the team of game space. 7-1, 8k gold ahead, 14 minutes into the game. How do you reverse that? How do you turtle a game with an Ezreal that's so fed, with a Rise on 3-0-2? Last stream, last Saturday that I streamed, I begged the teams, if you're not gonna pick it, ban that Rise. Every team that played Rise won last week, and here we go again. Antinous Gaming left that Rise open. The Rise is doing whatever he wants on the map right now.
I think that the biggest mistake from the Anticus Gaming side was that team fight. They invested a lot of their resources onto the into the Nocturne there in order to take him. I was about to say that they lost 2 or 3 ultimates onto the Nocturne there, so they didn't have a lot of things to counterplay and counter engage when the Rise arrived and the Camille arrived, so that was the ace.
A little bit better coordination maybe from their defensive and disengaging ultimates could have saved them once the fight was taken underneath the tier 1 top lane tower, but since that wasn't the case and they were basically naked from any CC, it was super easy with all this poke that GameSpace has to poke them underneath the tower until there was basically no HP left. They dived them, they killed the last 3 remaining members. Ace, take that wave underneath the tier 2 top lane tower, kill that as well. 2 towers, 5 kills under 1 minute. Top that one.
And now Sen has a lot of problems there against the Camille because the Camille has a completed Triforce. And Sen has only a Tiamat and the Ninja Tabbies, but if I was Anticus Gaming, I should have sacrificed someone there into the top lane. I mean, like, leave someone to fall there, and the rest of us could go back, like, run to the heals into that second, the tier 2 turret there, so there will be no ace, but they thought that they were safe under the turret. They didn't calculate correctly the damage output of the Ezreal there and the Camille, so they get practically slaughtered under the turret, and now Sen is really behind. He's 1 level behind. Rise gets caught, flashes away. Tried for the flank there, but the whole team of the Anticus Gaming was there.
Now we're going to have, of course, the Rift Herald paying her first appearance onto the Rift for today and destroying that mid lane tier 1 tower. The Camille is very easily harassing that Sen. Darkness is gonna go down onto that Sen. The Fear is not gonna catch the Sen on the last step right there, but Camille will catch him because he can jump pretty far away. But look at that flank coming in from the Brom, and the Sejuani ultimate goes down from the Camille, and the Ignite is gonna burn her away. The Sejuani will claim that kill while the dragon is going down. The first dragon of the game, which is going to be an ocean coin for the side of GameSpace. I'm not sure.
Look at the ultimate there. Look at the ultimate there, and you instantly regret it against the Rise. I mean, if I were Faris, look at the Camille.
I mean, I'm not sure.
I mean, like Rise can practically 1v4 forces flashes
He's
away
1v3ing them right now. There we go. Ezreal claims the kill with the Trusha Baraz and 3-0-2 Rise. You really can't go against him when all you have is a Tome and a Tia and boots and just a Wraith Blade from the Varus. You really don't want to be trying 1v1ing, and here comes Shen. I think Antinous Gaming is overstepping all over this game right now. They could turtle all the way to the victory, all the way to that late game. They could try and turn this game around, but 11k ahead for GameSpace, minute 19 as we speak. I don't think this game can turn around very easily from now on.
It will be really hard really hard for the side of Anticus Gaming not to turtle this game because the golden difference is huge. I mean, Ezreal has 2 completed items as the boots. Look at the inventory of Ezreal. He has the gauntlet. He has also the stacked one.
The Muramana.
Muramana. And the second tier.
And the second tier to stack up the mana, exactly. It is what Zareen discussed yesterday in the MSI. When you're so far ahead and you can stack already your first tier and you turn it into your item, you can stack a second one up. That ensures even more poke and even more team fighting power, because that more mana does drain your mana. So having a second tier stacking up on the back ensures even more poke and even more damage. The red buff is going to go to the virus right there, if I'm right. Something going for the side of Antinous this time around, and I just feel like there's a lot of miscommunication going on Antinous. They have a really well-constructed composition going on for them. It's just little oversteps, and of course, when your opponent team, game space, in this perspective, has such a huge mid-game peaking potential, you don't want to be overstepping. You want to be rethinking every single move you make on the Rift. And Antinous is paying for the decision right now. Darkness is going to go down onto that Shen yet again. The Camille running away with a sliver of her health. But it is a very clean dive.
I feel so sorry about this Shen, because he's all alone against the Camille that has going for the second completed item, and he cannot do anything.
Oof. Oh my god! Flash forward from the Ezreal, couldn't get the last hit in onto the Taliyah, forcing the flash away though, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna cost the Taliyah more to use her flash than the Ezreal.
I think that this game is kinda over, because as you can see, Game Space does exactly what they want on the map. In my opinion, the only thing they have to do now is do a good warding around the Baron, and then go for the objective.
Oh, the Ryze is going in 1v3, has to force the Shen ultimate onto the Taliyah. They have got the Ryze in the top lane, and they have got the Nocturne into the mid lane. Has no mana to defend from the attacks of Setsuan, so he's gonna have to force his flash as well. But why do they care? First inhibitor of the game going down, 21 minutes and 40 seconds into the game, and they are going straight into the second mid lane inhibitor tower, which is gonna go down straight right now. And Antinous Gaming can do nothing to defend this. There's no ultimates up, only the Taliyah ultimate up. They have nothing up their sleeve to defend the second inhibitor tower from falling down 20 seconds after the first one fell down. Here comes the taunt onto the right. He's gonna get caught. Nightmare goes down, and he's gonna be onto the Taliyah on the meantime. Shen pays again for the sake of Antinous Gaming, but they do claim the Ezreal again, but the Camille is unstoppable at this point. The ultimate is gonna go down, the Braum is gonna go down with it, and the Sejuani quadra kill for the top laner of Game Space, and is going to be the second ace for them.
This game is practically over there. I don't think that the Game Space can finish right there the Anticus Gaming Nexus, but they can reset, they can buy their items and go for this Baron. So they will be 100% sure that they can finish this game. They are going practically for the third inhibitor there, though. They have the time in order to secure it, and they will practically secure it. Now, the only thing they have to do is to go for the Baron with excellent warding they have. They can put a lot of wards there, secure that Baron. Now with the 3 inhibitors down and the waves with the 2 massive super minions there coming into the Anticus Gaming base with 1 Nexus turret, they can finish the game, this game in style. Which game, in my opinion, is practically over. We saw a lot of mistakes from the Game Space side on this team fight until the Camille arrived and cleaned up the whole fight. I mean, Ryze did a lot of things wrong into their positioning. Ezreal was a bit too ballsy there, standing into the
with no summoners
side. Yes, with no summoners up, because he burned the flash right before this fight.
I think at this point, Game Space doesn't even need to have these summoners, and here we go, instantly deleted from that does play the Nocturne, and they're gonna walk straight into it. They don't need the Baron, they just need the double super minions that are gonna be starting to running into the base. They have got the Brom off guard onto the side, and down he goes as well. 3 members of Antinous Gaming, can they defend against double super minion from every lane? And all these fed members of GameSpace Shen has to flush away. They're running for their fountain run onto this game because GameSpace is here to stay. Second Nexus Star is gonna go down. The Nexus itself is gonna go down, and Antinous right now is having a lot of trouble to keep themselves alive. GameSpace is gonna claim the Nexus Tower, and good game, well played for GameSpace right here. What I will say, I was talking about how Antinous had the perfect, literally in paper, composition, early game, mid game, late game, everything was perfect in the papers.
Really bad. They executed this really,
and GameSpace executed amazingly well. They used every single advantage. The Sejuani got pushed over and over and over again in her jungle, so GameSpace knew they had that room they needed to push every single lane, to get advantage in every single lane, because Sejuani was so far behind that she could not do anything. We saw warding from the first minute going in, so many pink wards into Sejuani's jungle, she could not make a step without being seen.
And if I'm allowed to say just one little comment there, the GameSpace utilized on the personal mistakes of the Antinous Gaming laners into the early game, and they practically smashed all 3 lanes at the same time with these missteps, especially into the Talia and the Varus with the first blood into the bottom lane.
Exactly.
And they used this in order to snowball the rest of the game with their vision control that was excellent, and with their objective control.
I will definitely agree. We said that this composition GameSpace had to shine from the start of the game. You gotta push that Sejuani back. You have to give your lanes the freedom to push. You have such strong lanes. You saw the Camille top lane. What he was doing to the Shen, my heart was hurting for him. I'm going to be honest with you. Left all alone to his fate. Nightmare over and over again on top of him with the Camille that was so far ahead. Every single lane, 10 minutes into the game, was at least 20 CS ahead from the prospective enemy laners, and I think that was greatly executed by GameSpace. And of course, yes, we do have the missteps late game with like the Ezreal without the summoners pulling forward, and the Ryze as well, but the Camille obviously clean house, quadra kill for the top lane of GameSpace. And any last words before we go on to a break?
I don't think I should have one. I'm pretty sure that we covered it all.
All right, then we're gonna throw it into a very short break, and when we're back, we're gonna have our next game of the day. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Season 7 of the Southeast Europe Championship. I'm Georgia Trouble Paris, and I'm here with Kostas Arioumos to bring you the second game of the day between Zagreb 360 and Void Gaming. We're jumping straight into the picks and bans.
A lot of things we have to see from these two teams, I think. I'm familiar with the Void Gaming playstyle, and I'm familiar with a lot of their players. But there are a lot of changes on the roster. On the other hand, I have ever seen the Zagreb 360, and I'm pretty excited to see what they have to offer into each and every particular lane, because as we saw into the last game, you have to win your lane, or at least you have to not lose it hard in order to go into the mid-game stage.
We just witnessed that last game.
Yes. That was exactly what happened. Antigo's game had a really good composition, but a lot of personal mistakes into the lane made them lose hard on each and every lane, including the jungle pressure.
We're jumping straight into picks and bans this time because I lied last time and we didn't jump straight into them. Kled will be the first ban for the top lane. Aggressive top lane from Void Gaming requires the Kled first ban. On the other side for Void Gaming, we might see the Caitlyn. Pretty normal ban to ban the Caitlyn, ban that ADC, get it out of the way, very strong. Really hard early push, you lose towers, very early siege, very easy siege with a Caitlyn, get her out of the way. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Kai'Sa ban somewhere in there. The Rakan is going to get out of the way from Zagreb 360. And moving on to the second one, we do see the same bans we saw last game. We do see the Caitlyn again, we see the Skana.
The Rakan is a pretty interesting ban from the side of the Zagreb 360, because they know about the synergy, and Rakan is pretty up, and that's the Rise that you wanted. If you are not going to play the Rise, you better ban the Rise, because
exactly.
the enemy team might have someone that can't play the Rise into the top lane or into the mid lane. So let's see the Void Gaming, and I'm holding my breath right now, the 10 seconds that they remaining, but if they do not ban Kai'Sa there, Zagreb can first pick it.
Exactly.
Karma ban.
Karma getting out of the way. Well, there's a potential Varus. There's a lot of hyper ADCs still into the game. Karma is one of these amazing early, mid, and late game champions for different reasons every step of that timeline that I gave you. Xayah is going to be the first thing locked in for Zagreb, and of course, that's what Karma could sign with as well. Early game, you do have a lot of damage coming out from the Karma. Mid game, you have a lot of damage and a lot of protection and a lot of pick potential with the W. And late game, you simply have that unbeatable 5-man speed shield that clears a lot of team fights out a lot of times.
That's the Morgana from the other side. You need that, because Morgana is open and offers a lot of in terms of pressure into the lane, and the anti-CC kit that offers to the ADC or the mid lane carry.
See, it's pretty much a no-brainer, let's say, as if when you want to blind peek your support, because at this point we don't see very heavy damage supports like the Zyra. The Karma is out of the way, the Janna is no longer, like, the W is nerfed, the E is nerfed. This is no longer that very dangerous peak. Same with Lulu. You don't see these contestants in the bot lane that can put out a lot of damage. No Zillions anymore, nothing like this. So the only things that are left in the bot lane are heavy CC champions like the Alistar, like the Braum. So you want to get rid of the chance of being able to get CC'd, so you blind pick the Morgana. Like I said, wow. Wow, you also know I'm a huge fan of the Nami. Here she is one of the big damage contenders. Nami can put out a lot of damage, a lot of CC. She can provide a lot of damage for her ADC as well. I find her such a brilliant pick that's not being played in bigger leagues right now. But one day they will understand the greatness of the Nami Rayuma. One day.
I try to think that what Void Gaming have in their mind, with Graves right there, and the Cassiopeia follow ban because they didn't have a mid laner unless they put Morgana into the mid lane and they are trying to flex this, but I'm not sure about that. On the other hand, I really like the Trundle pick from the Zagreb 360 side because you offer into yourself mean to destroy the enemy tanks. I mean, like Void Gaming pick 2 tanks in the rest 2 spots. For example, a Galio into the mid lane and descend into the top lane. You have the Trundle that can subjugate one of the 2 enemy tanks and practically destroy it. We saw the greatness of Trundle today, if I'm not mistaken, into the first game of the MSI when the Gambit Gaming were a little bit behind, a lot of behind, I mean, against the Ascension, and they used the Trundle in order to practically make Sejuani useless into a fight, and they get a lot of time right there with this thing.
At this point, though,
really like
if you don't have a tank, you don't really care about the Trundle. That might be the name of the game for Void Gaming, and it surely is going to be. I mean, unless you pop a Sion in your mid lane or something like this, or a Galio, which we could see a Galio, but that would be too much AP in the same team. You have the Morgana, you have the Vladimir, you'll have the Galio. I think Sion would make more sense.
Yes.
To make Void Gaming's composition more round and more completed. On the other hand, of course, you have a very rounded, very completed team as well. You have the engage from Nami, the disengage from Nami, you have the pillar for potential picks in the mid lane, and of course you have that huge AP carry in the mid lane, which Orianna is towards that late game. Of course, early game, not so much about the damage, it's mostly about getting that ultimate down on as many people as you can, but
and
look at all the squishiness on Void Gaming so far. One shockwave can mean the end of Void Gaming in the same team fight.
Unless we are in the late game, that Graves can blow up your carries, Sivir can blow up your whole team with the ricochets with the full build, Vladimir can jump into the back lane with the Sanguine Pool and the ultimate and heal up like for days. So it will be pretty interesting, and this is an Urgot? This is an Urgot?
Is this going to actually be an Urgot? We are going to learn very, very soon. We don't have an intel yet, so this is most likely going to be an Urgot top. We have a Vladimir mid lane, which works amazingly against the Orianna. Very early poke, really heavy auto attack champion for an AP mid laner. Vladimir constantly leeching back that HP, meaning that all of the poke that you get from the Orianna is pretty much useless at that point of the game. And of course you do have the Ergo top lane. They saw the Trundle, and Void Gaming is like, you know what? You want us to pick a tank, right? You want us to pick a tank so you can leech all of the tankiness that tank has, get it onto you and destroy it. Well, you know what? We ain't gonna get any tank in our team. We're gonna go full ham, as we would call it. We're gonna go full aggressive mode. I have no clue who will come across as the better team right here. I do see Zagreb having the more, again, completed team comp, like we said last game about Anthony's gaming, but we know what happened to that one, right?
I think that Void Gaming has a little bit of tankiness into the Grave and into the Vladimir, and of course Urgot can be really tanky into the fights and do a lot of damage, but what they have to do is like smash the early game with these things. You need Graves to be everywhere into the early games to pick up kills, to pick up farm and bully the enemy jungler in order to get some space for your laners, because Vladimir into the early game will have troubles against the Orianna because of the advantage that Orianna has into the auto attacking. CV is not that good, not that heavy into the early game. Morgana can apply pressure, but you have the healing of the Nami, so practically you have to if you are Graves, you have to massively win the jungle matchup in order to help your laners survive and go into the mid to late game that you can practically sign with the Sivir. with the Urgot, and of course the late game Vladimir is ginormous at this point into this
Mm-hmm.
meta.
How I see it, I see Graves paying a lot of attention in that bot lane. Namizaya pre-level 6 are very weak to the point where, not weak in a 2v2, but very weak in terms of if they do get ganked, if one of them gets caught up by that binding from the Morgana, there is huge potential that if that gank lands as well as the bind, one of the two are going to die in that gank. Nami is very vulnerable to ganks, not a lot of mobility on her. You do have a bubble, but Morgana has a black shield, to counteract the bubble. You have the heal, yeah, but Morgana is most likely gonna run the ignite, so there is a lot of potential in the bot lane pre-6 to get a few ganks going, to grab a few of these summoners from the bot lane of Zagreb 360. And of course, on top of that, if you do get a really good dragon, then that's another reason for you to keep on pushing that bot lane, because of course we need to see the pathing from the Trundle as well. I expect him to go towards that mid lane and towards that top lane, shut down the Urgot because he makes it really hard late game to push against, shut down the Vladimir because she's a huge late game threat as well, and on the other hand, ward everywhere in Void Gaming's jungle to know where the Graves is. So pretty much, I don't think we're going to see counter ganks. We're going to more see them avoiding Graves ganks because we know how strong he is early game right now. He's very strong mid game as well. So I think Zagreb would rather not face him than try to counter gank him. But saying that, on a last note, we're going to send it into a very, very quick break and we're going to be back with you to go and get this game on the way. Zagreb 360 versus Void Gaming, going into a very quick break, and we're gonna be back to get right into the Rift. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Season 7 of the Southeast Europe Championship. A round of breath, and I haven't even started talking. I'm Tutor Traveling Pass, and I'm here with Kostas Raiomoxeropoulos to bring you the second game of the day, which is going to be Zagreb 360 versus VG.
I think I know a lot of more players into the Void Gaming side that I thought I knew. I think that we will have a lot of things to discuss into the early game. If you are 360, you need to invest a lot into the vision control of yours, especially into your jungle side, in order to avoid the Graves, let him out of your jungle, and of course out of ganking your lane. On the other side, Void Gaming, in my opinion, has to push early into their lanes, because in this way they will give a lot of free space to Graves to invade the enemy jungle. So practically we have what one team needs to do, the other team does not, in any case. Somehow like this I see the early game.
Somehow I kind of see the early game like the previous one. It's like your life or mine. We try to stay alive while you try to rip us apart. I think that is the name of the game. Of course, 360 are the team that says, okay, don't rip us apart in the early game. We want to reach the part where we scale, where the Zaya does insane amounts of damage, where the Orianna does the same. Nari's gonna flank you, and now you're on the wall with the ultimate. The Nami is gonna peel for both of our carries, while the Trundle is running wild into your team. This is how I see it, and how I see it for the side of VG is, let's get it over with, straight into 20 minutes into the game.
And I would like to make a comment that I really love that skin on Severe. The pizza delivery, it's perfect.
Who doesn't like that skin?
Yes, I think it's really good. And you see the trading into the bot lane, a lot of trading between the two duos, but the Nami can make the things even.
Exactly.
Side, so they win the trades in all terms. That's why when you have heals on your team, you need to really push the enemy laners, and that's one more bind.
We have the level 2 first for the team of VG. Right now, the bind is going to land onto the Zaya, but look at that! Nobody from VG stepped forward when the bind landed, and they saw that Nami hitting the level 2. We do have a sort of like a respect sort of thing for the Nami right there. We have a sort of pause. We have a summoner disconnected. I mean, come on. It's a game you're casting. There's no way. We're not gonna have a pause. You're the king of games being paused. But as I say that, we're straight back into the game.
How many times we have casted together? All games we have casted together have pauses.
Actually,
there's no
yeah.
way you can do anything, and there's another pause.
You guys, I blame it all on him.
Yes,
you guys were here. You were here. I casted all on my own. Last week it went smooth as a baby's butt. That's how smooth it went. And now
I think that's kind of inappropriate. I think it's too early about discussing the baby butts, but it's okay if I can live with that if you want to.
All right then. So, what are we going to say? Who are we going to go with? Who do you go with as a favorite for this game?
It's all about the early game. It's all about the early game. It's the exact same thing. Same thing I was saying before. If you invest into your warding, you can be protected. If you don't, you're gonna be killed. And if Graves gets a jump start, gets ahead early, now your life will be hell into the lane.
Alright then, and this is what we're going to see. We do see the first Graves invade in the jungle, as I do get a slight freeze right there. But we are back onto the game, and the Trundle has found him out. But look at that, the Vladimir has already pushed the lane, which means that Vladimir has priority if a 1v1 is to break out in the jungle right there. The Orianna cannot leave the lane, and look, straight away the Vladimir moves first there, which means the Trundle has to back off. It is all about lane priority. Every single lane for VG right now is pushing. That's what you want when you have an aggressive jungler that's going to invade over and over again. You want that Graves to be able to invade. You want every single lane of yours to be pushing. So anytime, at any point, a 1v1 breaks into the jungle, your laner gets there first, which of course gives you priority on kill potential into that jungle invade.
In my opinion, it's the first 12-minute strategy for the VII gaming side. Like this, they have to push all 3 lanes at the same time in order to give space Graves to invade. That's all. From the other side, 360 has to be really, really patient in the lanes, try to first of all survive into a lane that is pushing, and by surviving I mean to CS under the turrets as much as you can, because you cannot always make the lane as you want under the turret in order to CS as much as you can.
I will 100% I agree with that. But we do see that in the top lane, we do have a CS deficit right now. We have the Gnar ahead.
Look at the minimum.
But this time, his lane is not pushed. Ergot has not pushed the lane, so I'm not sure he will be the first one to get there. We have that 1v1 rumble going on between the Ergot and the Gnar in the top lane. But look at all this wave. Right now, the Graves does not have priority in this invade. The Gnar will be there first if 1v1 is ready to break out. Exactly, that's why he chose to back off from Trundle's jungle. But now it's the Trundle that invades the Graves.
It's all about the jungle matchup, because all laners need farm in order to scale, but the 2 junglers can duel each other from like minute 1, and now Trundle may have a lot.
Vladimir is moving there first. He has popped the ghost as well. Pillar beautiful there to cut Vladimir off his tracks. And see, it's exactly what we said. The second you see Vladimir move, the Trundle backs off. But look at the Ergot now. Now it's the Ergot's time to get into the jungle and find the Trundle. He did find him, but he's backing off very slowly because his jungler is so far away.
Trundle has a really, really busy day at the office since minute 1. Let a lot of visitors into his jungle, and he tries to CS and take an advantage for his team. I'm pretty excited for the next 10 minutes, because whoever does a mistake into the jungle in terms of who will kill Graves or Trundle, for example, that's a way you can win the early game into the mid game. And
of course, we have a Mountain Drake as well. We have a Mountain Drake, which is very much anticipated into the early game from any team that goes into the game. It's very, very helpful for all that siege potential for both the teams. You do have the Severe, you do have the Xayah, very good siege champions that you do have there. And of course, with the help of the Orianna and the Bull and the Shockwave, that threatens actually any team to come near. I'm sorry. I mean, you do have a Black Shield, but you only have one of them. If the Orianna hits 2 or 3 or 4 people in the best, who are you going to Black Shield first?
And let's take a look at the goal difference between those 2 teams. I mean, teams are dead even. And in terms of the CSing, of course, it's not a little bit ahead. And the goal difference is practically between the Trundle and the Graves in terms of the farming. So 2 teams are practically dead even at this point of the game. They are just fighting for the pressure in the lanes.
And as you have seen, both the top laners have gone back and forth. They've pushed each other's lanes out, but none of them has used any TP. And here comes the Graves. The bind is going to land on the perfect target. They do get the Nami down. First blood onto their ADC. The Gnar has gotten down in the bot lane though, and he is going to claim back that Severe, make her KDA 1 for 1. And the flash first out there from the Xayah, because the Graves does have the ultimate there.
That bind was really clever and really, really beautiful from Leodaras, because he practically saw the Nami's flash, get a glimpse of the future there, and throw the bind. It was really good.
Whoa!
And that was what gave the first blood gold. I don't say anything, but that we get a little view outside the rift.
It's exactly what we said. Trundle is in the mid lane. Beautiful pillar right there. There is the pull from the Vladimir. When is he going to choose to use it? He's going to use it now before any more damage goes down to him. But the Graves is here and he does have the ultimate. The small screen goes down. The ultimate goes down. And the Trundle is able to walk away safely. Nami takes a trip towards the mid lane just to heal up the Trundle and make sure nobody gets touched anymore. 1-for-1 on the board. Straight damn even in this game. 13k for one team, 13.4 for the other. That Mountain Drake stands though, and it's exactly what we saw. Pre-6, that Nami so vulnerable to ganks. We saw the Graves on a beautiful flank gank, going through all of the right places to not get spotted by any vision that 360 had at this point. And the Trundle is yet again into that mid lane, and Graves is in the top lane. Meganar is holding on though, so I don't think there's much potential right there because the Urgot ultimate is down as well as the Graves ultimate. So is anyone going to help this Yordle in the top lane?
Nah, needs to be really careful there. That's why Trundle goes up on the top lane in order to practically defend a little bit. Now he's going back into the CSing, and Vladimir just CSing in the mid lane. I was about to say that Trundle would be dead in the mid lane if it wasn't for the search kit, the ultimate there. That was really good. Doing this into the Vladimir, taking the stats of the Vladimir.
I think that's the only person you can actually ultimate as the Trundle. He is going to be the most tanky member of VG. Like, unfortunately for the Trundle, but that is the truth. He's going to be the most tanky. Graves has paid a visit into the top lane again. Meganar needs to happen right now to keep Nisnar safe. And of course, the bar is going to pop red, and the Nar is going to transform into a Meganar. Graves knows that, and he's going to be taking a trip to base. But he was almost spotted right there by the Nah. He really wanted that kill. Orianna starting to roam towards the top lane. Urgot starting to back off. Of course, the SS has been pinged from the Vladimir in the middle. And look at that. New item on the board. We have a Sorelias being built for the Vladimir. Another, like Zyrene said yesterday, another item to be abused by the mid lane, by a Vladimir, I'm sorry, mid lane into the game.
You know, into the Vladimir, especially into the early game, that item is really good because it gives you the extra speed to engage into the enemy team, and not only engage just you, but engage with the Graves into the melee range, which is the thing that you really want from your jungler into this matchup.
Look at all this vision right now that VG has around that Drake. I think the Drake has been started, if I'm not wrong, and Vladimir has been called down there. Okay, I think we are going to have a fight. Every single ultimate is up. No TPs for the top lane. They can't join. Bind is going to land onto the Nami again, and a lot of pain coming in with the severe pizza right there. Trundle is trying to get close. Pillar is not going to do anything, and he's got off guard on his own. Triple shockwave from the Orianna that's going to walk straight into a Morgana bind and lose her life to her enemy mid laner. And they do get the dragon. They do get the kill. Huge misstep right there from the Orianna, trying to get that triple shockwave to save the Trundle, but the Trundle did have flash, and you always need to keep your eyes on that bind, as you always need to keep, if you're VG, your eyes onto that Orianna ball at all times. You need to make sure, if you're in 360 squad, that you don't get binded.
Yes, that's a key factor right there, and I was about to say that the Vladimir was zoning two members of the 360 away from the dragon there, and gave the Graves a lot of time to secure it. And then the fight was exactly as you said. Keep your eyes on the bind, or else you are going to be dead.
Exactly. The bot lane could not join as well, so that was a pure 4v2. It was pretty much everyone for themselves. Let's run away for our lives. Orianna says, okay, bro, I got you. I'm gonna save you. And Trundle is like, I'm sorry. Goodbye. I'm gone.
It was a ballsy decision from the side of the 360 because Void Gaming has the lane priority into the bottom lane, and Vladimir had also kind of the lane priority, so that's why they lost the fight.
And then of course split.
Because they practically overcommitted.
Exactly, and they were split. Their bot lane was down on the tri-bush, and they were trying to flank around, but their composition doesn't really work like this unless the one flanking is the Gnar. Else, the rest of the four members, in my opinion, need to stick together. You need to be protecting the Zarya with the shield protect command, and one more bind. It wasn't going to hit, but you know what, this time better safe than sorry for the Croatian mid laner. He is going to flash away from that bind. He's like, I'm not taking my chances this time. I know it wasn't going to hit, but you know what, I'm just gonna be safe. Losing his flash though, Graves could pay a visit in that mid lane.
Not just pay a visit, camp the mid lane at this point. If Vladimir let Orianna push a little bit and gets the wave into the middle or up on his side, Graves can practically camp the mid lane, get 1 kill or 2, and that's why you see Graves right there, because the lane priority in the bottom lane is in favor of Void Gaming.
Graves has found the Trundle in the jungle right there. Ultimate's up for both. Protect command coming down from the Orianna. Shockwave going to miss, and that pillar acted against the Trundle this time, because that was almost a full kill right there. We do have the 2v2 going on in the bot lane as well. They have cornered the bot lane of 360, but they are going to be getting away. And look at the Vladimir and the Graves having a little party of their own in the jungle of 360 right now. The bot lane has been called in from VG as well, and the red buff is going to be going to Graves. 360, very well played so far. They're playing against the aggression of VG. They're not giving them what they want. They're not giving them these early game fights, apart from that little misstep from the Orianna into the dragon fight that happened right there. They're not giving them these mistakes they want. They're not giving them the oversteps. Bind dodged right there. He needs to be clearing more than one words to be able to be unseen into his jungle right now. It's literally lit up with the red vision for VG.
It's true, that's true. And now you need to focus a little bit more in the bottom lane if you're Trundle, and not in the middle lane, because Vladimir cannot easily get gunned.
Oh, 2 members coming up from that Reaver, the bot side Reaver, and of course that calls for the bot lane of 360 to start walking up as well. But Trundle is gone. It would be a 2v3. Here comes the Graves into the mid lane. A lot of hurt going down, and here we go. We have no flash on the Orianna. The ultimate is gonna be going down from the Vladimir, and he's literally diving here under the tower. He is gonna get the kill. Look at all these life leads that happened right there for the Vladimir. He's not scared. He's gonna keep his flash. He's gonna take the opponent down, and he is on 2-0. Literally king of the mid lane in this game.
And that's why if you are Trundle, you are not focusing in the mid lane against the Vladimir that has Ghost Flash and the Sanguine Pool. You need to focus in the bot lane. You need to try and find the pick on Severe or
Trundle is up in the top lane though. Beautiful pillar right there, flashed away from the Argo, but they are going to dive him. The Graves is really close, but the Nari is gonna flash and kill his opponent into the top lane, but the Graves on the other side is gonna take care of that. Trundle tried to run away. Very clever TP right there from the Nari. He doesn't want anything to do with that 103 red smite Graves that still had his ultimate up. He's not gonna take any chances. He took the kill, he took the flash from Ergot. He's out, but now he is 1 teleport down, and there's our next dragon spawning soon in 40 seconds.
That gives a lot of space into the Void Gaming, after that into the top lane to put some wards into the bottom lane for the Drake, or just ignore the Drake and go for the top lane Herald, because neither of these teams have get the turret first blood till now, and we are in the 17th minute. It's more like a lot of bloody game, but none of the teams have secured the turret first blood.
Very clever to go onto a Healy support sort of situation into the bot lane. If I was right, that must be an Infernal Drake. I got a glimpse of him coming down onto that side of the wall, and it looked right, and it is going to be an Infernal Drake. And what I want to say is that it's very clever that you go with the Nami bot lane that can heal up all this hurt from the Severe and the Morgana. Else, if that was a Braum, if that was an Alistar, if it was anything like a Rakan, they would have been pushed so much in all this time, saying that though the Trundle is getting caught and the bind is not going to land. It missed for like a little bit, but with all this hurt put onto the Trundle, that kind of secures the Drake situation going on for VG. Again, if 360 wants a piece of that dragon, is going to have to run onto a VG team that's not having a Vladimir, though. Again, trying to get that Trundle down. Beautiful ultimate right there from the Zaya, and the Graves is going to be going down. Amazingly executed, but look at that TP coming from the backside. The Trundle is going to secure the Drake, but what is VG going to secure? First kill on the Nami is gonna go down, and the Zaya is in deep trouble. No summoners, is gonna go down to the Ergot while the Morgana gets away from the duo for Rihanna Trundle chasing her. That is a 2-for-1 and a dragon. I'm gonna give the win to 360, but if this tower goes down...
I was about to say, this is a huge victory for the VG if they took that first turret.
But
they did.
We're replying in the top lane from 360 with the Nard taking the tower. So I would say if it's a 1-for-1 tower, a 2-for-1 in the kills, and an Infernal Drake, which is huge, I will still give the win to 360 for this fight.
Yes, it's with the turret in the top lane, it's a win for 360. I like the style of Trundle there because it was like a call all or nothing there from his side. They decided 360.
Oh, the Nar has been caught into the top lane. He has no flash, but the Morgana does have the flash. It's burning down slowly but surely, but I don't think even if she used her flash there, she would be able to get away. So she decides to give her life away. The Severe will be more than capable of pushing, and you're too late for the Rift Herald. Too little, too late. 360 was like, okay, let's make it peak top lane. Maybe try to get the Rift Herald. Didn't happen. Baron has spawned in his place.
And somehow like this, we have a swap on the lanes. Top bot to top and top to bot. And now the duo is going into the mid lane from the side of 360. You see Nami and Zaya into the mid lane. Now it's time to focus, and now Graves is kinda caught there.
He does have his flash available, and of course he's going to use his ultimate there to get back, but he was stuck on a wall. Not sure if that was a misclick right there. Flash forward from the Orianna, and the shockwave is going to land, but it's not going to be enough to kill the Graves, as the Morgana and the Severe were there to assist him. Big summoner that the Orianna is going to miss on the next team fight.
You know, it's a bigger loss for Orianna than Graves, because Graves has the E in order to...
And his ultimate.
Yes, but now Orianna is practically stuck in the ground, especially against the Vladimir that has a Surelius that can force you in every time, especially into and outside the lane. And I was about to say that now it's time, we're into the 21st minute. Both teams are pretty much close, because it's about 2,000 gold difference. They will fight around the Baron, and first of all, they will fight for the vision there.
We need to get all these vision done for both of the teams, but look at that. It's about to be a 4-man mid lane against an Orianna that has no flash. Or it's going to be the swap. Take that Vladimir up in the top lane. He does have Spellbook. He might choose to swap one of his summoners. We will find out very, very soon. But right now, the pace of the game has slowed down drastically after this dragon fight. Both of the teams have realized that one small mistake could cause a lot of trouble for their team. The Orianna starts hurting. The tier started stacking up. She already has the Seraphs, which means it's not that easy to kill anymore. She has her heal, she has Zaya's heal, she has Seraphs, she has Protect Command. She has the Nami healing her. She has so much protection, and of course, same as the Zaya. She has a lot of protection, and her ultimate is one of her biggest protections against this team. And I really want to see how a teamfight will break out. I mean, the way I see it, the only way VG has to get an initiation going is by popping that Severe ultimate, but they don't have any heavy CC to start a fight.
First of all, Orianna is flashless at this point, so if they force the engage on her with the ultimate of the Severe and the Surelius from the Vladimir, they will practically cut her. But we have to have into our side also the Nar, because Nar is 3-0, has a Black Cleaver and the Frozen Mallet. It's somehow a tank and the damage dealer. And Urgot, if he doesn't build a lot of resistance there, will have a problem against the range of Nar.
I think the technical term you're looking for there is a bruiser. That's exactly what Nar is at this point. Next dragon coming up in less than a minute, 54 seconds on the clock. We haven't got a glimpse of what this dragon is going to be yet, because we might have another big fight coming up. The Orianna has been pushed to the top lane against the Vladimir. It is a pretty favorable 1v1 for the Orianna right now, since you do have the command protect and all that, but that's a 3-item Vladimir you're against, so not sure how much more favorable it gets for the Orianna from here and on. Bind is going to miss, pillar down for the protection of the Trundle to be able to push out that lane, and we have a 4-man 360 in the mid lane. Nar is going to decide to go towards that bot lane. The bind is going to land and a little bit of poke onto that Trundle. But we do see again that the poke does not matter at this point, because the heals from the Nami are larger than the poke from the bind from the Morgana.
And there is also the redemption there from the side of Nami.
Look at how that Na is running down that Morgana. The second the bind misses, he is one of the most vulnerable champions into this game that we have right now, so they can't get rid of the Morgana. It's going to be a Mountain Drake, so I think we're going to see a fight happening right here, right now for this Mountain Drake. Beautiful pillar right there to cut off the whole of VG from that Drake, but 360 is going to back off, which means that VG has the chance to get a lot of vision around this Drake.
And that's the key, because now with that vision that the Void Gaming has into the Dragon Pit, the Nar has not built up raids, just got out of the Mega Form, although VG will back off from
Look how low that Morgana and the Graves are, though. They have got the Orianna on the side, flash away, 1-man shockwave on the other side, but the wave is going to finish off that Graves, and the Orianna is going to get out of there alive. Redemption coming down to heal all the wounded members and everybody. Oh my god, the flash from Vladimir into 4 members of 360. Double kill for the mid laner of VG, shut down onto the Na. And how in the world does VG come alive out of this one? I thought it was so well coordinated by 360. Flash away from the Orianna, the redemption coming beautifully down. Amazing wave from the Nami from 360, but all this damage coming in from the damage dealers of VG, nobody can heal that up.
Yes, I think that 360 thought the same thing as you, that they are winning the fight, but when Vladimir flashed over...
Beautiful, yes!
It was huge. It was really huge, because Vladimir had the Mortal Nomicon and the Proto Belt. So
and oh boy!
And a lot of penetration with the Mortal Nomicon.
I see Death Cup in the making as well.
It was huge play by Satanico in the mid lane there, over the Dragon Pit.
And look at that.
Now eyes on the Baron.
I see double needlessly large rod there into his inventory, and I'm getting even more scared. 5-0 and 2, 40 almost CS ahead from his enemy mid laner. And I was saying that if you would have to ulti somebody as a Trundle, this would have to be the Vladimir. But at this point, I mean, I'm not sure how tanky he is. He does so much. They need to be very, very careful. The Trundle has been caught off guard. There is no flash. There is no nothing. Orianna has been caught off guard as well. Trundle is going to be going down. Look at the severe ultimate going down. 3-man shockwave. It's not going to matter. The wave is going to knock up the Vladimir, but it's literally just going to tickle him. And I think this will most definitely mean Baron for VG Gaming. They're already 5k ahead, and this is going to be huge for them.
And that's a small misstep by Trundle there. It was a little bit forward that he should be, and the rest of the team was not there, so he practically died and condemned Orianna to die also, because the shockwave was not that much to stop the whole team, and especially stop the Vladimir that has the Sanguine Pool, and also played his ultimate press the R button on both Orianna and Trundle there.
Needless to say, lads, rods have been converted into that death cup, and I don't want to be against that Vladimir at this point, at any point, I think, into this game. This is a very, very hard game right now for 360. 6k behind, fully baroned up team for VG, and they're gonna have to reach the 6-item power spike and play their team fights to perfection to be able to survive and win fights against VG.
It's really, really hard for the side of 360, and I think that I wouldn't like to be into their spot right now because they have to shut down Vladimir, and if they commit all their resources on shutdowning the Vladimir, then the Severe with the 2-item Severe and the BF sword can do a lot of damage with the
Bind going down onto the Orianna, and they're gonna go for it. Wave coming down from the Nami, but is it going to be enough to keep them alive? No, Orianna is gonna fall, Zaya is gonna fall, Trundle is gonna fall. Everyone is falling one after the other. Double kill for the ADC of VG, and it's most likely going to be that ace triple kill for the Severe, and this is most likely going to be the game. 5 members alive for VG, and the little dub penguin right there for the Severe to end the game with her own triple kill. First Nexus Tower going down, second Nexus Tower going down, and the redemption to heal everyone up as the Nexus goes down for 360. Good game, well played for VG. That was beautiful play right there for another, yet I will say, aggressive team comp.
Yes, and a huge credit there to Morgana for that bind. That was beautiful into the Orianna that practically give the opportunity to the Vladimir to initiate into that fight. And from this point and over this point, Vladimir was like a truck hitting the 360 team. They had no response into that, and even against the 3 items, Nar, he healed so much under the turret.
He healed half his health. He was he got gnawed underneath the Nexus Tower with like 5 HP remaining, and then he healed for half of his health. And they were like, "You want to ban the Rise? Sure, go ahead. We've got Vladimir up our sleeves next. What do you have?" Apparently 360 didn't have a reply for that Vladimir, as he ended the game, if I'm right, 6-3, 6-0 and 5, 6-0 and 6, something like this. Incredible performance for the mid laner of Void Gaming, and yet another aggressive comp doing well. I mean, we said again, I think it's a curse. I'm not going to say it ever again for any team. Like 360, Anthony's Gaming, they had the perfect all-around compositions, and they just get demolished in the early game.
Just a small mistake from Trundle in the Baron gave up the opportunity to the Void Gaming to secure that Baron.
They literally ended the game.
Yes, a little bit of opportunity there for Morgana to land that perfect bind, and the game is over. That can sum up. 360 tried to survive the early game. They practically did. They made some pick, but the Vladimir was the key factor for Void Gaming to win this game with that flash ultimate over the Dragon Pit right before the Baron.
Exactly, and of course, before we throw it into our next game, make sure to exclamation mark giveaway into the chat to be able to win one of the 500 euro vouchers for the ESL shop. So, before we jump into the next game, I don't think I'm gonna curse again any team by saying they have the perfect comp, they have the all-around comp. One huge APC in the mid lane, huge ADC, hyper AD carry in the bot lane, perfect, like, 2 tanks, 1 in the top lane, Bruiser, 1 in the jungle, or whatever. I'm just not gonna say anything from now on because it seems like early game wins right now.
Yes, because it's 50% draft and 50% gameplay. So
and another 50% and another 50% caster curse. It happens. We've done it before. 50%. Exactly. We have done it before. I think me and you have cursed a lot of teams by saying, "Oh my God, this is it. They're gonna win." Or you've said a lot of times, "The game is over. It's done. It's never turning around." And literally next team fight, it just turns around. You guys are in for a treat with bring Ryuma here. You're gonna love it. I'm telling you. We're gonna have a lot of pauses. That's for sure. We're gonna have a lot of caster curses, and you're in general gonna love it. So, before I throw this into a very quick break, tell me what is your favorite champion right now?
I don't think I have a specific one as a favorite champion into this meta because there are a lot of things. I would like to see though a Zac into the jungle because I love the Zac kit, and also I would like to see Cassio into the mid lane or the new Ari. I really want to see a good Ari player playing the new Ari into the mid lane, trying to win a game, solo win a game from mid lane.
I would like to see it too, as I would like to see a Zed. I've been saying all these months that I really would love to see a Zed. Zed has not, of course, made his appearance yet into the mid lane. Really tough times for, in general, loads of assassins into the mid lane. And of course, we're gonna throw it on to a quick break, but stay with us because we're about to jump into our first semi-final, which is going to determine who goes straight into this group stage. So stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Season 7 Southeast Europe Championship. We are going straight into our first semi-finals that are going to determine which is going to be the first team that makes it into the group stage. But of course, my name is Georgia Qualifiers. I'm here with Kostas Raiomosaropoulos to bring you this beautiful picks and bans phase.
Beautiful picks and bans phase, but not full Greek weather, if I might say, because it's really raining and I hear the lighting here outside. So a perfect weather for a perfect game. I'm literally gonna say that I don't know any of these teams until I see.
Well, I've got sun here.
Until I see.
Just saying.
I
have sun here. If you're interested.
Sun.
Yeah.
So you have sun and we have rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it goes. And of course, picks and bans are of course not as strange. Vladimir is out of the way straight up. Caitlin and Kaisa are our two known bans by now. If it's not a pick, it's a ban. Kha'Zix and Graves, very aggressive junglers out of the picture, which means we might get to see again Trundles, Sejuanis, Zax, locking on the Xayah first pick.
I think that maybe Rhinos did see the last game of the Void Gaming and the Vladimir, you think? Or by their own experience they are gonna ban it and first ban even
I think
there.
Vladimir is a very super strong pick right now. It can be a flex pick, it can go top, it can go mid lane, and especially with the addition of Sorelias, it just makes him so super mobile and effective in the game. Sorelias gives him exactly every stat he needs, same as Proto Belt after, and of course, with all this AP, when you stack up on all that HP from the AP that you get because of the passive, then you have the chance of going on to the death cap, and not a lot of champions that literally dive into the enemy team have the chance to buy a death cap because they're gonna be popped. Well, he's not one of them.
And now Rhinos is blind picking the Camille into the top lane, and the pick is answered by Poppy. We are not seeing this so much these days, but the Poppy is a really good counter against the Camille with that W, and the Karma combination with the Xayah into the bot lane is really huge and can push really early into the game. So I'm pretty excited to see what Rhinos have to answer into that Karma.
Yes, we do see a Poppy locked in on the top lane for only second place. And oh my god, I'm excited. I love the composition of the Romanian team so far. We have the Karma, could be mid, could be flexed in the bot lane as well. And something tells me that we're gonna have Morgana bans here. There we go. There we go.
Yes. It's a Morgana ban and it's a Thresh lock-in. I really love the kit of Thresh. It gives you so many opportunities to make picks, because if one of your opponents is not careful enough in front of a team fight, you can throw a death sentence on him and it's over. You can pick a carry into a team fight and win a team fight for the team. So Thresh is really beautiful, and that's why they ban the Kents there, because you can flex the Karma in the mid lane.
Of course, I was going to say you do ban the Morgana. The only other champion you need to ban against the Thresh is that Tam Kent. Of course, we do have the exceptions of you can play an Alistar against it. You could very well play a Braum against it. You could, of course, flex the Karma in the bot lane, but that's not very ideal, in my opinion. If the Karma gets hooked, then it gets a little bit tricky to get out of that situation. The Xayah is much more safe into the bot lane. As we say that, though, what is going on? We have a Cho'Gath in the jungle or the mid lane? Or a Camille in the jungle and a Cho'Gath in the top lane? Or Camille in the mid lane?
We have seen it before and worked. We have seen it one of the pros, if I remember. And it really worked.
Alright, let's see. The scanner, of course, has stayed open. We said that both the junglers would go with something more tanky in this situation because everything else has been banned out. It is going to be the scanner locked in for only second place. And what I also wanted to say is that the Camille, like you said, might be flexed mid or jungle because the Poppy is a counter of the Camille. A counter for jump, nevertheless.
Yes, you can see it. Go. Camille can be in the... Oh,
and it's going to be the Karma as support for the Xayah, which it is also a very good way of being able to dodge the thresh hooks if you're, of course, if you are able to dodge, because sometimes the thresh can outsmart you, you can't dodge very much, and of course we have the very rare situations where we say you over juke yourself. You try to juke the thresh hook so much that you end up in a situation where you can no longer avoid it, like you put yourself against the wall or towards a corner, or you're shuffled in with like minions there, and the hook is very easy to be done. Here we have both compositions for you guys to see. The Romanian team have chosen to go with the Xayah Karma bot lane, Poppy in the top. Bot lane, I'm sorry, Xayah Karma. Top lane, we have a Poppy, Scanner in the jungle, and Corki into the mid lane. What I am missing from this team, of course, is a lot of AP damage, so we have a more AD coordinated team comp for the Romanian team. And on the other side we have level up Rhinos with Thresh and Ezreal in the bot lane, which Ryuma will be very happy about. We have the Cho'Gath most likely in the top lane, but we could flex these two around, Cho and Camille top and jungle, and of course the Taliyah into the mid lane. Now, which team are you leaning more toward, and why?
I think that I'm going for the Rhino side, because as you said before, there is a lot of AP missing inside of only second place. So I think that Rhinos has an advantage, and also has an advantage in terms of roaming with the Taliyah. Taliyah probably will solve more faster in the Corki side, so can roam into the level 6. So I think that I am with the Rhinos composition, but as we said before, it's 50% draft, 50% gameplay in these days.
50% Cassacres?
Yes, of course. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a best of 3, right? Because we're in the semi-final.
Exactly, we're in the semi-finals, and of course, when the teams are done picking the champions and get into the Rift, this is going to be the first game of the best of 3. So whichever team also loses has a second chance of coming back, and of course, the team that really, really wants this can take it on a 2-0 clean sweep. But I think I'm gonna go with the Romanian team here.
So we are splitting the desk.
We are splitting this 50-50, so we split the curse as well. So no team can say stop talking about us, you know, we're losing because of you. So we are going to split the curse. Why I am on the Romanian team side though is because they have all the potential and disengage they need to get away from the Rhinos. They have the 5-man Karma Seals late game. The Xayah ultimate can prove to be a huge factor to keep that hyper ADC alive. And let's not forget they're going to have 2 ADCs in the late game with the Karma Seals. Ardent Sensor, is going to play a big factor into these team fights as well. And of course the Poppy that can stop any engage from the Camille. It can only stop Thresh's hook from coming in, so let's not forget that this is a huge factor as well. You can throw the Camille out of her ultimate with the Poppy ultimate, so I think it's a very well structured team. On the other hand, every time I've said that the team is very well structured, the more aggressive team gets the upper hand into the early game, and that's what exactly Level Up Rhinos want to do. But before, of course, we jump into the Rift, make sure exclamation mark giveaway in the chat of ours to be able to claim one of the 500 euro vouchers for our ESL shop. We're gonna throw it onto a very tiny small break, and we're gonna be back to throw it straight into the Rift. Stay tuned.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com. Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
So welcome to Summoner's Rift, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with ESL Season 7 Southeast Europe Championship Qualifier number 2. We are just going into our first best of 3 that's going to determine the first team, of course, that's going to take the ticket to get into our group stage. I'm Georgia Trabalik Paras, and I'm here with Kostas Rayamosauropoulos to bring you the first game of the day that has just been paused, because that's what you get when Rayuma is here. Am I right or am I not? I think we just lost him. We have lost...
I'm here.
Okay, he's here.
Okay, I was laughing. That's why I'm muted for a second. Because when you were doing the introduction, I was about, and we are going to go into the first game. We are going into a pause. It was like something like this.
Well, I like being honest right here. So our game has been paused. Hopefully it will get resolved super quickly. So far, so good. There is this belt zone, as we call it, for both of the teams. They are on the every exit and every entry of their jungle. And how do you think we're going to see the start of this game?
Well, let's start let's start from the nicknames of the players. I like the nickname of the Camille there. See, take a moment and see the name. I'm a fan from now on. And I think that, as we were saying before, this is pick and ban. I'm with the Rhinos because of the engage potential and the pick potential that Stress offers, especially into the bot lane and then into the mid game, which is the key factor for both teams there. They have to go strong into the mid game if they want to secure those big objectives, such as right before the Baron spawns of the Rift Herald, or after that, the first minute into the Baron, and we are kinda back into the game.
We are slowly but surely going to get back into the game. Here we go. And we do see a beautiful, beautiful specimen that Cho'Gath is sitting to this Tribus and protecting his jungle.
And protecting the Tribus. It's a very important Tribus. Why are you laughing?
You are right. It is a very important Tribus, and he has to be protected at all times.
After Fnatic invented the Fnatic boost, every boost is important. You need to know what's inside the boost, especially in the late game, because in some cases you get really, really big surprises that you cannot flash away.
We can also call it every boost deserves a ward and call it a day.
Yes, and respect, of course, not just a word.
Respect and wards. Every boost needs respect and wards. Okay. This is going to be the motto for this one.
Yes. And we see
God, how
into
have
the
I
bot lane.
missed you?
What?
I said, God, how have I missed you?
I never heard anything, so that's why I asked. What? Not very polite of me. And the first gang from the Camille in the mid lane? Really into the minute? Not anything, not burn, but it's the first visit into the mid lane.
I just really want to see how the bot lane is going to go against these two bot lanes. I will give the pushing material, of course, to the Xayah and Karma lane, a very pushing lane. And when you do get the Thresh Ezreal under the tower, it kind of gets easy for the Karma to be able to poke them down along with the Xayah. And we do see that the Poppy is having a very actually good time with the Cho'Gath onto the top lane. Of course, the Poppy starts with this pot that does give her that little bit more damage once it chucks down the potions and the uses of it.
Oh,
But
a lot
so
of
far,
trading in the top lane.
exactly.
Really.
So
trading.
far, pretty even all over the map, except from where you said, of course, the Talia is going to pressure the Corki a little bit more, so we might have... The Corki is not like the best at farming underneath the tower until he has his level 6.
Or the Sin.
Exactly.
Because if you have the Sin, you have the damage output that you need in order to CS under the turret. I was about to say that in the bot lane.
There we go. The Cho'Gath has no mana and the Poppy is chasing us. We do get a slight freeze right there, but the Camille is coming and the W from the Poppy has been used. I would call this could very well be a first blood. Oh my god! Flash forward to get the Cho'Gath and she might just pay for what she just did right there. Flash from the Camille and first blood for level up right there. Very greedy for the Poppy, having zero vision on that upper river, and she's gonna have to pay for that.
You know, that was a mistake from the side of Poppy, but a really big but there, because I think that that was a ballsy play from the side of the Poppy, and it's something like I want to see in the game, because that it's really that makes them exciting. Because if we go into the bot lane, we know that the Karma, because it has the raid advantage, gonna push the lane all day with the Xayah. So we need a bit of action, and that's what Poppy did there. Take her chances. Was a bit unlucky, but almost got it. So I'm expecting things, a lot of more things top lane. Now on with 2 flashes down. I think both Gardner and Camille will go top again and again.
The Camille is close by again, and she does have the TM ready to go, so you never know. The second the Poppy popped the W, I knew this would most likely be the end of her, but when the Camille was coming, she missed her jump combo, so she couldn't jump straight onto the Poppy. We do have the first Thresh hook landing though, but the Q and the Mantra do hurt the Ezreal as well. First heal popped for the Xayah, and the Ignites have not gone down yet. Beautiful E back from the Xayah to be able to stop both of Level Up's bot lane onto the tracks. Ignite is going to go down by the Thresh. Nobody has died so far, but summoners have been used onto that bot lane, so we might as well see some action there as well.
That was nice in the bottom lane. It was what we were saying. Nothing more than a trade of summoners there.
Well, it's 1 for 2, so Level Up's bot lane has kind of won this trade, let's say.
Yes, and it's good from the side of Thresh there with a nice E, despite the fact that Xayah managed to get a stun there.
Poppy is torturing still the Cho'Gath in the top lane.
Yes. And no attention junglers so far.
We do have, if I'm right, the level 5 on the scanner, so he is going to be hitting that level 6 soon, and we do have that worthy of a word in the bush kind of moment there when the Thresh and the Ezreal are camping this bush for a chance to get a hook onto the ADC, or most likely the Karma, because he's the one that's flashless right now in the bot lane. Level 6 for the Skarner is up and running, and very soon for the Camille, most likely after the red buff as well. And I really want to see where they're going to choose to give their attention to, because the map is fully open right now. There's a lot of summoners that are down for both of these teams, and of course we have a dragon that's none of their interest, so we are most likely going to see the teams moving towards getting these kills and these lane advantages rather than trying to fight over this Cloud Drake.
Now both junglers are level 6, so they are gonna visit.
Here we go, the first ultimate from Skarner coming down and taking that Taliyah underneath the tower. I'm not sure why the heal was used by the Taliyah there. Maybe she got a call from the Camille that she could be close in help, but I think she will helpless at this point of time. Nevertheless, a heal is a heal, and second is going to get that, but the Camille is in the mid lane with the Thresh. Jumping away from the Corki, he's gonna take his kill, he's gonna take his farm, and he's gonna go straight back to his fountain to purchase any items with his new gold.
That was close, because if Camille were landed there, can ulti and then Thresh follows with a hook and a flay. So Corki was a bit okay when the stun wasn't landed, and I was about to say that we need take a look at the CS for both sides, because if you see Ezreal is about the same CS now with the Xayah. Xayah will CS behind, and the Ezreal has the
here comes the Camille getting onto that Karma that is flashless, and we're gonna have a slight freeze right there. But the Karma is going to go down, and another hook is going to land onto that Xayah. Beautifully played right there by the Thresh. But the Xayah is going to be pinning them down. But for how long? 4 members of Level Up into that bot lane, and they're going to claim their second kill.
That was nice. Corki is there with the packets, but cannot that much. That hook was perfect there from Thresh Xayah. A bit of disrespect there from the ADC of the only second place. Not flashing the hook.
And we do see them camping again into that bush.
They will do this all game long. I'm sure about that.
Well, right now, every summoner is down for the bot lane of the Romanian team, so let's see.
And the flashes are up from the side of the level up Rhinos, the bottom lane. Both flash of the Ezreal and the Thresh and the Ignite, so we are maybe having more picks at the bottom.
That Ezreal has been pushed under his tower most of this game, and he has managed to be 10 CS ahead, which is enormous for an Ezreal, because like you said at the start, Camille is in the mid lane again. Corki's gonna jump away, he doesn't want none of that. But jumping back into the Ezreal, we said that he is a tier champion, which means that his early mid game is not the strongest you can have from an ADC. Of course, when he does complete his first Sheen item, whichever one he chooses to purchase, then he becomes a little bit more of a damage dealer, but till then, all he has is a mana stacking item.
Sure, that's why we, as we said before, it's like when Ezreal gets the scene, it gets really dangerous into the lane, because you will receive a lot of damage from a mystic shot when you are not sure that you gonna hit by something like this. So Skarner is in the bottom lane.
Here we go again. Ezreal had to flash right there, so very successful gank by the Skarner right there, being able to get that flash off of the Ezreal. His flash is gonna be up pretty soon as well, so the only thing Ezreal will have will be a shift. Taliyah starting to move towards that bot lane though, and we could see a potential gank coming in with the wall, because again, only Karma has a flash.
Look at the return gank from the Skarner though. He's in the bush, the bottom lane. He's desperately looking for a pick there in onto Thresh or Ezreal. We get to see though the blows into the top lane. Blow for
Taliyah is moving towards that top lane, and Camille is very close to the top lane as well. And look at all that hurt that the Poppy is putting down onto that Cho'Gath, although the farm is very even. So we do see that second has a lot of pushing lanes, but in the end, it's Level Up that comes ahead in the farm game.
Thresh for a hook there, but gonna land it.
Skarner paying a visit into the middle, and the Cho'Gath TP is coming down. Poppy is gonna have to flash, but the Camille ultimate is gonna come down in time, and she is gonna go down to the Camille on a killing spree. The jungler of Level Up flash away from the Cho'Gath because he was underneath the tower, pulled by the Skarner ultimate, knocked up in return, and is going to be the third kill for the jungler of Level Up in return of nothing for second.
You see that the Camille there knows the interaction, so the moment she thinks that Poppy will flash, presses the R, so comes after the wall and then can flash away after the kill. Really well played by the Serbian police there onto the Poppy. An extended skirmish though.
Skarner is in the mid lane again, does not have a flash, and the knockup was just used by the Taliyah. Is it going to be enough? Is the burst going to be enough? The heal is going to be popped, and Taliyah is managing to 1v2 both of them. Is she going to be able to take anyone down? The Skarner goes down. The Cork is trying to get some blood back in return, and is it going to be the case? It is one rocket in the face, and he's going to get the Taliyah down, but beautifully played by the mid laner of Level Up. Little bit overzealous right there to try and get both of the kills, but nevertheless, well done.
It was 1-for-1, and both summoners there. I mean, like the flash from the Corki, like Skarner was overcommitting in the turret. Takes
without an ultimate.
Turret shots. Yes, 2-3 turret shots there. That was the key factor that let Taliyah return most of the damage there, and then try to finish both of them. Ballsy again from the side of the Taliyah as a mid laner there, tried to take both these skills, but 1-for-1 trade is okay.
And look at what a difference Infernal and Mountain Drakes make. We had so many fights in our previous games when we have Infernals and Mountain Drakes, and now there's just a Cloud Drake, and nobody even cares to walk up that river, never mind taking the dragon.
Pigs flying in the bot lane, like around the dragon.
Corki does have the package, so he is very dangerous. Taliyah, of course, can follow up with the wall anytime she wants. And the teleport is up for the Poppy, but she needs to make sure wherever she chooses to teleport to assist probably a fight that's going to happen for her team. And as I say, a fight that's going to happen for her team. The ultimate goes down from Camille, and they have caught Karma again. She can't flash out of the Camille ultimate, and double TP coming in from second. The Corki is there, and the Skarner is there. The Camille is trying to get something in return. Will she be able to get the Camille? Double kill for the jungler of Level Up, and another kill going down for Level Up, and a third kill going down for Level Up. Triple kill for the jungler of Level Up, and 6-0 and 2 that Camille in the jungle.
That was beautifully played for both teams, especially the Level Up team there. Camille goes up massive into this team fight. She had the completed jungle item and the Tiamat, a lot of damage there by Camille. I think that only second place didn't expect so much damage from the side of the Level Up there, and that's what they cost them the fight. And of course the interruption of the teleporter from the top side was key.
That was key. Double TP started channeling for second in the bot lane, and only one arrives. That kind of course, baits the whole team inside. They're thinking they're going to have a 5v4, but as I was saying that, I was exactly saying that thing that Poppy has the teleport advantage from the Cho'Gath, I was saying, but she needs to be careful not to cast it anywhere near where she can get interrupted. Saying that though, at the exact same time, double TPs happen in the bot lane from second, and Poppy's TP gets interrupted by the Cho'Gath.
Nice rotation there for both teams. They sent their bot lane into the top lane. All around that Herald. Everyone, of course, ignores the Cloud Drake.
Sad times for Cloud Drake.
And you know that the Cloud Drake is a pretty interesting Drake because it gives you the movement speed out of combat, and especially for a support or a jungler, that's really good because you can go from
Skarner
one side
has
to
caught
another.
Taliyah, but I don't think it's Taliyah who has been caught. It is the Skarner, and he is gonna be going down to that Taliyah. Corki has been caught in return. You can't jump out of that ultimate double kill for the mid laner of Level Up 5 and 2.
You see the interaction there from the Taliyah over the ultimate from Skarner that practically break the ultimate and let her do a lot of damage in Skarner, the return damage. That's really good there.
I am not sure.
The Level Up laner. It was kind of interruption there.
The second team was nowhere near that Skarner. That Skarner pretty much went all in into 3 members of Level Up. The Level Up is 6k gold ahead at this point.
It was somehow a miscommunication between the top laner and the duo bot.
Skarner is now in the bot lane and they want this Cho'Gath dead. He does have his nom on cooldown, so he is going to flash away. Let's see. Poppy does have the flash. Corki is coming close as well, but look who is there. Is the Taliyah. Beautiful knock-up by the mid laner of Level Up, and now here comes the Corki, and the Skarner is gonna go down as well. And Corki has been caught between a wall and a hard place, and a hard place it will be as he goes back to his fountain. 7, 0, and 4 for the jungler of Level Up.
Beautifully played there by Taliyah, like saving the Cho'Gath with the blast cone and the kill, and then flashing again in order to finish the Corki there. Nice, beautiful play there by the Level Up mid laner.
Great communication that Level Up is showing us so far. They don't move anywhere without having backup. Even the Cho'Gath being caught right there, that Taliyah had already started moving. She had the ultimate up, she just didn't need to use it.
That hook goes wide there from Thresh. Oh. But they don't care.
They have everything they need at the moment. The only one who is a little bit upset in the team, it is that ADC. He's living the 2017, as we called it, ADC life, where the ADC... Exactly, where the ADC was full of assists and no kills. Here is what this Ezreal is getting a glimpse of as well. Is going to be the 2K17 feels bad man ADC moment, where the Camille is on 7-0-4 in the jungle, 6-2-4 in the mid lane as a Taliyah, and Luku has been caught again. Is going to be the Skarner. The ultimate from Camille goes down, and the wall, you can't go anywhere, sir. But the Taliyah has been caught there as well, and the Xayah has come to the assist of the Skarner. He's going to get away. Beautiful thresh hook right there to catch the Skarner back up, and the Corki's coming in with that package. But are you sure you want to be there, second? You are too far behind in the gold. Unstoppable for the mid lane of Level Up. Double kill for the Camille on the back as well. And everyone is falling down from second. And here is the Ezreal grabbing his first double kill. His first 2 kills, let's say, of the game. Ace, 19 minutes into the game for Level Up. What does second have left to bring this game back?
Okay. Speak again about the ADC, that the blonde one ADC of the Level Up side that has no kills and then gets 2. Okay, that's weak. That's how you have caster scares there for the enemy team though.
This could very well be inhibitor tower.
Yes. Now Skarner is still chasing. He will stop. The whole fight there, and that's the reason I really like the Thresh pick, is that the Thresh changed the course of the fight. There, these 2 crucial death sentences, one on the Karma, one after the flash, and then from the side when he was kicked by Poppy into the wall, he managed to land a second death sentence on Karma, and then in this way you make the shield machine of the enemy useless. So you practically win a fight there. That was beautifully played by support of the Level Up Rhinos and changed the course of the fight, in my opinion, there.
Support from Level Up, very, very known for his Rakan and Thresh plays. He got one of them banned. He was able to pick the other one. Of course, he's not letting us down. Beautiful death sentences all around the map, and they want this Skarner again. This Fluster Skarner who is running out of his own jungle.
Yes, level up now. Know what they're doing. They're trying to establish vision around the Baron. That's the key the key and the main objective there. Because if they secure the Baron, they can push easily into the open inhibitor into the mid lane, and they are starting the Baron.
Look at all that red vision that there is on the first and top quadrant of the jungle of second. They can't get anywhere near.
They can't contest it. I mean, like, only second place, the Romanian team.
Camille even used her smite. That's how much they know that they're not contested in this Baron. Halfway through the Baron, she just used her smite onto the Baron. It's very, very, very bad news for second right now. 16k behind.
They're so far ahead right now. The side of the level up Rhinos, that they practically can do whatever they want on the map. They can set up places, and they will probably go for this Cloud Drake. 22 minutes first Drake into the game, because they don't have something else to secure right now. They will just secure a Drake.
They're just clearing out the map.
Solo secure a Drake.
Exactly. They're clearing out the Baron. They have vision everywhere. They clean all the jungle of the Skarner. They're going to get rid of that Drake in case there's a new, better one coming up, which is going to be, unfortunately, an Ocean Drake for the team of Level Up, and thankfully for second, just to give them a break. You know, if it was an Infernal Mountain, that would have made the situation even worse than it is right now, even though I don't think it gets any worse than 16k 22 minutes into the game, but let's say it does, and that would be an Infernal / Mountain Drake. And now all Level Up has to do is pretty much force fights one after the other. They do have the tools to do that. They have the death sentences. They have the Talia wall. They have the ultimate from the Camille, I'm sorry. And of course, there's a Righteous Glory onto that Cho'Gath that can literally just run himself into the enemy team.
Only second place right now need a miracle in order to come back into this game. They can't even contest this inhibitor. I'm not sure if they can contest turrets into the bottom or the top side.
Talia is already pushing the top side of the map, and Level Up is pulling a little bit back. They're playing very cautiously because in the top lane, Talia is pushing. Exactly, they do so respect. They don't overstep at this point. They want this to be a very clear win for them, and so far so good. Only 4 deaths given away from Level Up.
Packet there from Corki.
He did want to catch Talia off guard, but I don't think it's possible when her whole team is around. But you know what? Give it a try. You never know. Camille is trying to 1v1 underneath the tower. That's Skarner, but they have got her underneath the tower. This could be a kill. It is going to be a kill for the Corki. The Camille goes down, shut down for the Corki, and that's exactly what second needed. But doing that beautiful Truce of Varaz by the ADC of Level Up to take down the Karma, trying desperately to get to that fountain. But while all this is happening, the second inhibitor is going down. 2 inhibitors down, 1 to go for Level Up.
I was about to say, when Camille gets caught, that in what cost the on second place will take that set down of the Camille, just ruining her kid KDA there, but the second inhibitor has fallen from the Ezreal and the upside. So we were talking about the respect of the Level Up Rhinos, and the second we talk about the respect that they saw, Camille shows 0 respect engaging on Skarner, that knowing that has flash and ultimate there. That was a lot more than ballsy there.
I mean, to be honest with you, worst case scenario, Camille would die and they would still get the inhibitor top. So he was like, what in the world? Let me just try and see if I can do this 1v4. Why not?
Yes, and now they will go for the 3rd inhibitor of the game.
If this inhibitor goes down, it's pretty much GG for the Romanian team. So if they have to make a stand, they need to make the stand right now. Look at the Camille though, pushing the wave, and she is going towards that Poppy. I'm not sure how unfortunate this will be for the Poppy. It is going to be that 1v1 here. The Camille ultimate is going to be going down. Look at all this damage going down onto that Poppy. They have got the Camille, but in what cost again? They're losing the last inhibitor tower, and they didn't even kill the Camille. Camille is still standing with her flash up. The Cho'Gath is going to be porting back and teleporting back into this fight onto that large minion that's into the mid lane most likely. No, it's not going to be the case. Where is the Cho'Gath? I have lost the Cho'Gath.
Yes.
Oh, there he is. He has teleported back already. I lost him for a second there, but really hard to miss the Cho'Gath from your screen, isn't it? He's kind of covering half of it. They are on to the next towers now. The Zaya is beautiful. E-back from the ultimate to get down that Talia and the Camille, but at what cost? This is a 2v2 for the team that's so much goal behind. That is very well played, but they do have the Ezreal still standing and strong right there, and these Nexus towers are being chucked down. The Corki's trying to do all as much damage as he can, but shut down as the Thresh hook beautifully lands onto the mid laner of second, and now they don't have any chance. Only the bot lane of the Romanian team is standing, and they're trying their hardest to keep their hopes alive.
They should back off right now.
Zaya trying everything she can to keep the game alive, and killing spree for the Cho'Gath, unstoppable for the ADC of Level Up, and I think this is the last chance that Skarner has to do anything in this game to keep the game alive. As you can see, Level Up don't really care. Get on that Sting, and the Thresh is gonna be going down to the Skarner, but look at all these minions. Look at all these minions that are hammering on the Nexus, and it's GG well played. Another dubbing Penguin. We see right there, it is, we see a lot of the dubbing Penguins, and oh my god, that was stats a one-sided game. Whew.
It was really nice played from the side of the Level Up Rhinos. They used their advantages. They played around their winning conditions. They let the Ezreal scale, and that's why the Ezreal was so good at the end of the game right there. Does so much damage, and even with the play from the side of Zaya, they couldn't win the fight, the only second place. So we have the 1-2, and they have now in second game focused on the picks and bans again, more from the side of the second place, and do more respect ban, I think, especially on Thresh.
So we have one up for the Rhinos against the Romanian only second place, and are we going to see a Thresh ban in the next game? We're gonna find out if Rhinos can take it a 2-0 clean sweep, or if the Romanian squad has something up their sleeve. So stay tuned for the second game of this best of 3 series. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Season 7 Southeast Europe Championship. We have just jumped straight into the picks and bans phase of our second game of our first best of 3 of the day, which will determine which team will take the ticket for our group stage of the tournament. I'm Georgia Trouble in comparison. I'm here with Kostas Rayoumosaropoulos to bring you our second game of this best of 3.
We see interesting bans in the first phase.
Vladimir, again.
Vladimir.
I mean,
Graves.
Exactly. Who didn't get a glimpse of the Vladimir Graves combo on our game before, right?
Yes, surely. And the Vladimir is more like a tool.
Okay, Morgana gets banned. And I want to see Thresh Rakan. Rakan will get banned from the Romanian team, but Thresh will still be open. It could be a Tam Kench ban.
Yes, they will probably ban also the Thresh here.
Of course, you need to ban the Kai'Sa. And maybe you could even first pick the Caitlyn. Look at all these support-oriented bans that it's gonna end up in something S tier being unbanned. The Caitlyn is unbanned at this moment, and it is going to be the first insta-lock, of course, for the Serbian team. No questions asked. No matter what the support will be, the Caitlyn will be locked in.
Huge win for Level Up Rhinos there in the first phase of the pick and ban phase, because they forced the only second place to ban something else rather than the Thresh or the Caitlyn. Because if the only second place ban, for example, the Caitlyn, they will pick the Thresh or something like this. The Jinx, though, is a clever answer to the Caitlyn, but you have to build a really good composition around Jinx in order to protect her. First step, Lulu.
First step is a very overprotected support, and of course one that makes you even more of a hypercarry late game. Of course, to get into that late game you have to go through the bot lane that the Serbian duo will choose, and is it going to be the Karma? It would make sense. It's a huge push lane. It's a 10-minute first tower down bot lane, so it would make insane sense if that Karma was locked in the bot lane for Level Up Rhinos, and it is going to be.
Now it's jungler. Now they need the jungler, I think. Yes, it's a Camille. Flexing.
It is going to be again the Camille, and I don't think it's going to be a flex at all. That Camille did absolutely fantastic in the jungle last game for the Serbian team. So if I was with them, I would allow the blind pick Camille jungle again. Of course, the Poppy is very useful when that Camille jumps into the team, but it's not very useful when that Camille jumps into your team with a 9-0 scoreline. So hopefully this time they will be more cohesive in their early game and not let the Serbian team go that far ahead.
You can't do that, Matt. If a 9-0 Camille jumps into your team, even if you hammer her away, she will come back and practically destroy all of your team. We saw her, she was 9-0 and 3, I think, jumping into 4 people, disrespecting the Skarner with the flash and the ultimate, and giving space to the team in 2 times to the first game to take down inhibitors. And that's a clever, really clever Rise ban.
Rise ban, we're most likely going to see the Cassio ban. This is our 2 most wanted, let's say, mid laners right now. The Cassiopeia could stay open as well. It is very useful versus the Camille. If the Romanian team chooses to go for the Cassiopeia, the Rise is banned, of course. So is the Talia, which caused a lot of trouble last game, and here comes the Cassiopeia ban as well. We're going to resort in different mid laners. We do have Zoe still up for grabs. Of course, Corki is another choice, but I would prefer for the Romanian team not to go for Corki this time. You do have the Hyper ADC into the bot lane, and I would like them to see picking something like an Orianna in the mid lane, something that will protect that ADC even further and do a ton of damage. Zinzao locked in. Talk to me about it.
Yes, I won't talk to you about the Zinzao. I think it's a clever pick against the Camille. If the Camille is in jungle, I want to seal a blank from the side of the Level Up Rhinos, because in this way you can force back the Orianna pick. As you said, they're gonna pick the top, and I think the new LeBlanc, or rather than the old LeBlanc.
The old new LeBlanc.
Yes, something like this. It's super effective in the laning phase, and even more effective assassinating hyper carries such as Jinx or squishy supports, such as Lulu in a potential roam into the bot lane or a skirmish into the mid game. So I'd like a LeBlanc there into that comp.
5 seconds left on the clock for the last peak of the level up riders. What is the 7 squad going to do? It is going to be the Karma meet, and the Thresh support comes out again. They were baited into their own game here, the Romanian squad. That Thresh wreaking havoc last game, getting one death sentence after the other. And I wanted to say how much engage and disengage potential the Serbian squad has right now. Death Sentence, Commit Ultimate, Maokai Ultimate, and on Disengage you have a 5-man shield. And of course, it makes absolute sense to go for that Orianna. You need this Jinx to stay as safe as possible into the late game. Of course, if we do reach a late game as well. But I think this time, the Romanian squad looks much more cohesive on their peaks like last time.
I think so, but this time the level up Rhinos decided the Maokai in top lane against the Poppy. So if it's a Maokai in top lane, because Maokai can also jungle, it's a bit slow on the clearing.
It is a bit difficult to put your Camille against the Poppy.
So it's a better draft that I was going to say. It's a better draft from the side of the only second place. They managed to contain some picks from the side of Rhinos, but again and again I'm gonna say this until we go into the group stage and even further, that the draft is only the 50% of the success. The next 50% is the gameplay. So the only second place bot lane needs to be super careful against the Caitlyn and the Thresh, because one pick can change the whole game into the bot lane and the whole game as a whole.
I will 100% agree. So instead of that very pushing bot lane with Karma and Caitlyn, now you do have more of a pick bot lane, which does change the whole composition, because even if the Lulu gets caught, forget the Jinx. She's going to get protected, but if the Lulu gets caught, then we have the same situation that second place had before when they had the Karma in the bot lane. Every time Level Up Rhinos were going for that Karma, they knew that the Karma was the weak link. They took her flash early game and they kept on basically going again and again and again for the Karma. They did not care for the Xayah. Yes, the Xayah reached the spot in the game that she could put out so much damage, but it didn't really matter because Level Up Rhinos were 18k ahead. But before we throw it into the Rift and show you exactly what we mean with everything, we are going to throw it onto a break. So don't go anywhere, because we are going to find out if the Serbian squad is going to take it on a 2-0 clean sweep or if the Romanian composition can go against them. So stay tuned. I need a second right there because that game almost destroyed my my chords right here. Olaf has popped the Righteous Glory and they are onto this now, who might be turning Mega Gnar anytime soon. The Gnar onto the wall to stun them both. If the Graves is there, is it enough though to save the Gnar? The Tompkins is gonna be coming down, and look who he brought with him. His ADC. Graves being pulled backwards, and he is gonna be going down to the Olaf, but the rest of Wild have arrived and they helped this Gnar to get out, taking the Tompkins with them. Zhonya's going down for the Swain, but it's not going to be enough. Double kill for the mid lane, and we do have, oh my god, 9 and 2. We have another fight in the mid lane. Flash from the Cassiopeia, flash over from the Trundle. First blood going down for X25. The Sejuani is mindlessly trying to get something back on that rise. The Caitlyn, every engage from NMD counts here. They could lose, and here it comes. They have got the Caitlyn shut down on the Varus again, 4 and 0. But the Karma and Sejuani fall on their side, and Rise is gonna be ulting straight into that inhibitor tower. They're going to be being revealed yet. The second TP is gonna be coming down. Master shot to push back that Cassiopeia. Flash forward to try and kill the Cassiopeia, and is it going to be? It's not. Heal coming up on the last second from the ADC of X25 to keep his mid laner alive. Clash being popped right there by the Tompkins, but it's not going to be enough. And another person's going to be going down. The Cash is going to be going down as well, and the Gnar is trying to make up for whatever Wild has lost so far. Can't he make it work though? No. For the Gnar, double kill for the Sen. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see this either. And the Rakan wants to go in. He will get the double taunt, and the Braum is going to follow, going back into that fountain sent very early. The only one who stayed alive is the Saya, but they don't care about the Saya. They have got 4 members of Power Esports set straight.
Ready? Huh? Hey, easy boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com. Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
And I trolled you. Now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESL Season 7 of the Southeast Europe Championship. We are just about to get into Serbian and Romanian war. We are on the second game of the first best of 3 of the day. That's going to determine which team is going to take the ticket for our group stage. My name is Georgia Traveling and I'm here with Kostas Rayuma Saropoulos to bring you maybe even the last game of the day.
It could be. It depends on the early game once again. We're talking about the things, and Lulu has to be careful in the bot lane. Although if we take a glimpse from the last game and the level up performance, this might be the last game, and we have the first engage and first flash.
First flash is it going to be? It's going to be for the Zinzao right now, and a bit ballsy from the Zinzao, I would say, right there. But in the end, it is level up that comes up ahead even before we hit 1 minute into the game.
I never get to finish my point to this kind of games. It will be a pause or an engage in the flash or whatever into the first minutes. That's what happened there, practically. And Zinzao now has to be really careful, because the Camille can invade super early, and if she has a red buff, it would be really bad for the Zinzao potential invade, and with the help of someone else, could be even a kill.
That is so good right now for level up. They are 2 very aggressive junglers, which ideally, when you do play that very aggressive jungler, you want to invade. That means your lanes need to be pushing. Now, they do have pushing lanes, like the Karma can pressure the Orianna if she wants to, the bot lane can definitely push with the Caitlyn, and of course the Maoka can pressure versus the Poppy, but at this point, an invade cannot happen from the side of Second's jungler because he is missing that flash. If you want to go for the ballsy invade against another very high damage jungler, you need to be able to have all your exits ready, and that flash is not up right now for the jungler of Second, so he is gonna have to take it a little bit back and chill until that flash is up, or there's an actual big opportunity in front of him to take it.
Yeah, I truly agree with you, and that's why I think the Xinza will go for clear the jungle, then go back, reset the jungle, and start somehow like this. I'll try, for example, now for the scuttle grab after the blue and the gromp, and then back, because the pressure into the bot lane, see the wave is in the middle, so there's not an easy way to gank this lane right now. I don't think we will have that much of action the early game, because they're too much for those teams, especially for the only second place of the stake
the
time.
Camille has sneaked into Zinzao's jungle, and the Zinzao is right in the bot lane. I think he has been spotted, though. He is going to be engaging onto the Thresh. We're not looking at it right now. It is going to force Thresh's flash in the bot lane, so that's 1 summoner down to go, and the Camille is into the mid lane, but the Orianna is underneath the tower. The Q mantra didn't really hit from the Karma. Oh my god, a lot of damage. The Zinzao is in the mid lane now, though. Karma is gonna have to be forced to flash, but this is going to be first blood. It is going to be first blood for the jungler of Second, who lost his flash, but he didn't lose his spirit. First blood for his team this time, and the first hook is going to be landing onto that Jinx trap to follow up, and the ignite is gonna go down from both the supports to get this fight to stop and separate the 2 supports.
Definitely not that much of an action into the early game, as I was saying before. Before the first blood and the burn flash from Thresh into the bot lane.
I think literally since you said it, we had Zinzao getting the flash off of the Thresh in the bot lane, then Zinzao getting into mid lane, getting first blood, and now this fight in the bot lane, which cost a lot of summoners.
I think that it's good reading of the game from the side of Zinzao, trying to counter gang the mid lane.
The Karma is pushing again all alone in the mid lane. She has nowhere near her Camille to help her. Knockup is going to land. I think she is going to be dead for rights yet again. The shield is not going to come up off of the cooldown. And this time it's going to be a kill for the mid laner of second. Really well done there by the Zinzao to stop his teleport. Beautiful route right there by the Maokai to root that Poppy underneath his tower for a little bit more of harassment. And I have to say, the top laner of second on the Poppy, he has been doing stellar on both games.
Yeah, probably is a good player. A Poppy good player, I mean, a decent top laner, because Poppy is practically, you need good mechanics into your lane, like good micromanagement in order to land all the skill shots and get the right shields. I was about to say that it was not that. In the mid lane, the second death of Karma, it was not that of Xin Zhao's mastermind plan. It was more like the disrespect of the Karma, going back with the teleport into a pushed lane without checking the sides, the side brushes. So it was more like the Karma's fault rather than Xin Zhao's good playing there.
Now keep in mind that all the flashes almost are down. We do have just a couple left on the map. But that Jinx flash is down, so she is very vulnerable to a Camille gang, which has just hit a level 6. She's going to go back, reset, and we're most likely going to be seeing some action now that the ultimate is up.
Although Xin Zhao is more proactive than Camille into the map, making more plays, if you said so, like ganking the lanes and controlling the river for the side of the only second place, which is crucial in this side of the game, in this state. You need to control the river in order to avoid the Camille engage, both in mid and bot lane, because bot lane and mid has no
the
flash,
Zinzao wants this red buff, and he is wounded, but now the Thresh has started roaming around. And let's see if we're going to say fight breaking out. It's not going to be. The Zinzao is just going to give up and say, you know what? I tried. I'm going back to my own red buff.
Yeah, something like this. Okay, I'll give up. I'll go back to mine. I'll go for the clear. And probably he could gank the top side of the map because it's a little bit neglected from both junglers, the top side of the map. Now Camille is trying to invade, but there's nothing there to take. I mean, like, clear the jungle of Zhao.
That is so clever. That's so much waste of time for the Camille to go around the whole bot quadrant of Zinzao's jungle. But they do want that Orianna. And remember, she has no flash and the ultimate is up. But the Zinzao is right there. So she's going to have to break her own ultimate from that. Flash for flash used? Yeah. Flash for flash used and no kills yet.
I think that flash was a little bit too much there.
Oh, the Maokai has been caught on the top river though, and the Zinzao is on his way there. The Camille as well. But how long can the Maokai stay alive for? The answer is not long enough for the Camille to get that first kill for the Poppy on the board.
I like the walking style of the Camille. Because that's what I was seeing there. As you guys
beautiful W right there to stop the Camille onto her tracks. But I'm not sure that this is going to be enough. The Camille is red buffed right now, so she could potentially... She's scared of the Zinzao. There is no vision of where the Zinzao is right now. And of course the Poppy has the flash. She could force the flash, but she could also be walking into her own trap, let's say. So
as I was saying, Xin Zhao had to focus on the top, and there goes. Focus on the top, taking the kill, the Poppy. Then left now, I think that we should focus more on the control of the river, because that ocean is precious for both teams right now. Second place has the first move, but level up can always react into their moves and make plays. Because they have the Thresh, they have the Karma with W, they have the Maokai that can place someone for like years with the CC chain.
Look at how hard this Thresh was trying to deny the Jinx from getting that cannon minion, which of course, now with the new updates, every cannon minion is worth more gold than the previous one. So of course you really don't want to be missing these cannon minions. And both the Thresh and the Caitlyn were trying super hard to deny that cannon because it is worth so much. Saying that though, we do see that Camille is heading towards the bot side river. It's most likely going to be a skull crab and hopefully a gank somewhere because I want some action going on.
I would like to see Level Up playing a lot around Caitlyn because she's a lot ahead in terms of CSing against Jinx. Jinx is a lot weaker. You see the difference, it's 100 to 76 CS into the bottom lane, so I think that Level Up focus more on playing around Caitlyn and giving her an advantage.
Zinzao is waiting onto the blast cone and he has positioned himself into that bush very conveniently while the Orianna starts roaming down that river as well, stopped halfway. The bot lane of Level Up is not pushing very far. They do know something weird is going on. Of course, after that ward was cleared up by the bot lane of second. They are pinging the Zinzao right now. Exactly, they do know, but the Camille is in the mid lane just to scare Orianna a little bit away. There's gonna be trying to play the bait card right there. Oh, that is very close. That is very close. And here comes the Zinzao. The Caitlyn is going to be taking that lantern away. Beautiful play away for the Thresh, and they are going to be pulling him very close to the tower. Heal is going to have to be popped from the bottom of Level Up, but look who's here. Everyone is here. Double Shockwave is going to go down, but it's going to result in Lulu's death and only Lulu's death. Zinzao going down as well. The Karma has to pay on the other side. Double kill for that Camille, and oh my god, I have seen this nightmare before with the Camille going so far forward. She's going to jump forward and get the Orianna again, but that Orianna is pulling back so much damage that the three people right there from Level Up have to back off. Flash forward and killing spree for the Orianna. The Camille is going to jump back down, but it is going to mean her death. And that is going to be a 4-4-3 in favor of second right here. Beautifully played. The Orianna is putting down so much damage, and all these little bells are doing something to me right now.
Yeah. It was really well played by the side of Poppy there by disengaging first place and then denying the stun for the Camille onto Orianna after the dying death sentence of Thresh there, the last thing he did. I was about to say that Level Up played that fight really well, but they did a lot of mistakes into the execution and into extending that team fight. They had to stop after they have killed, let the Orianna and the Poppy live and just disengage. They lost what they gained there, the extra engage on Poppy and Orianna.
They overpushed their limits, but here comes the Zinzao again in the mid lane. On the other hand, look who's down there, and the flash. They don't have any flashes, but the Zinzao is gonna run in. That was the one that had the flash, but he just flashed into his own death because 4 members of Level Up are in the mid lane to defend their mid laner, and it is going to be a kill for that Karma. Very much needed as he was sitting on 0 and 3 and a lot of CS down. I guess in 3-0-3 Orianna. They are thinking of diving that bot lane. The ultimatum is not yet up for the Camille. The Lulu's playing very dangerously with her fate, and the Poppy has come down towards that mid lane, and we do see the kill from the Camille onto that Lulu, and the Jinx is all alone, flashless, healless, summonerless, all alone and helpless, going down to that Camille. Serbian police on 4-on-1 yet again. I have seen this before.
You know what? We didn't get that, but the Lulu trying to clean this ward from the Thresh there in the brush was enough to death sentence her and practically kill her. And then the Jinx was like free gold under the turret, and now they're going to take the first gold.
Exactly, as we said, the 10-minute tower is a must for a Caitlyn lane. That's a 14-minute tower, but that Maokai is under arrest. Basically into the top lane. I don't see a way for him to get out of this other than just delaying a little bit his death, or is he? What a beautiful play by the top laner of Level Up to be able to get out of that super sticky situation he put himself in.
You know he deserves the dubbing penguin.
And now
there.
he's going back into it because his bot lane is right there, but Second are gonna second think that move and get back.
as we say in Greece, Xin Zhao is not doing that from a half-health Maokai, like the rest of the team.
AKA he's not biting the bait.
Yes, something like this. And I think that level up are a little bit forward now, but they have to be careful, really careful, because the big objective now is the Rift Herald.
Definitely we're gonna be having the swap right now. You do see the Jinx, he'll be right back. He will be back into the top lane in no time to go versus the other bot lane that's waiting over there, which is from Level Up, Ocean Drake. No team's interest right now, along with any Cloud Drake that could have spawned, and I think the Rift Herald has just started. They did spot that the Xin Zhao is towards that bot lane doing the blue buff, so this is pretty much a free Rift Herald.
Yes, it's a free Rift Herald, and if the only second place answer with, they have to answer with the Ocean Drake, because in other words, it will be a pretty heavy loss for them in terms of exchanging objectives.
What I wanted to focus on is that when Level Up gets kills, and they are behind on kills right now, they do always translate to a certain objective. Second is a little bit too kill hungry, I would say, and they focus so hard on getting these kills, but after that there's not much they could use the kills for other than feeding their members, which could potentially lead in something larger as the game progresses. But for now, where objectives are concerned, Level Up is ahead.
Yes, they are ahead, and I was about to say that they are kind of reading better where the game goes. They have a lot better macro management than the only second place, and that's the reason they translate the kills and the objective into more gold, into more items going into the mid game.
Let's see where the Rift Herald is gonna choose to make its appearance this time. Camille is heading towards that bot lane. They could possibly kill that Poppy right there. The roots are going to land, and a beautiful W to stop both the Maokai and the Camille, but the ultimatum is going to go down, and I think with it is going to be the Poppy going down. Another kill most likely going down to the Camille. Shut down. 5-1. Tell me we haven't seen this before. Tell me that.
It took them a lot of time. It took them a lot of time to get down this Poppy, and if it was like for the Camille, like timing perfectly, the hammer with
the Xin Zhao has got the Karma in the top, and the W is going to land from the Karma, but I don't think this is going to be enough. Flash away from the Shockwave might have saved her life momentarily right there. She's trying so hard to get that Xin Zhao down, but it is going to mean her death, and look at that Jinx putting down the damage with not a single item completed yet.
3 damage into the mid lane though. In terms of
and it's exactly what we said before. It is second getting most of the kills, but it is Level Up focusing these deaths in their team and focusing onto a larger picture, which is the objectives, which is the name of the game pretty much. Thresh might try to get a death sentence there. The flash is going to go forward, and beautiful flay onto that Orianna, who has no shockwave, but they are onto the Caitlyn. I think she's going to be going down to the Xin Zhao, and it is going to be the case. Poppy had a beautiful teleport right there and shot down on the back by the Karma, who TP'd on their back line, but she is all alone, so Karma is a B for her, and she is going to be going down. Unfortunately for seconds, she's going to be going down to the Lulu, and the Poppy has been caught between a tree and a Madman, which is on 5-for-1, but the 2 remaining members of Level Up are going to be backing off. And yet again, this is another team fight, the second win right here, and I think the only thing they're going to get from that is 1 tower.
Yeah, I was about to say that Level Up committing to a pick, knowing that there is no big objective for them to lose, such as the Baron, it's just only a turret, and now Poppy dives into Maokai.
Oh my god, they have got the Lulu, beautiful flash right there by the Camille, and now they have got the Poppy, but that Jinx is there and she is free hitting. They are going to sacrifice, I think, their mid laner right now, as Thresh is getting closer and closer to be able to get his assist as well. Let's see if this death sentence will land. No sidestep right there from the Poppy, and rampage for the jungler of Level Up. Oh my god. Camille didn't
And
get
now-
banned. He's getting his revenge for that.
Okay, don't look at the scoreboard. Spoilers on the scoreboard. And I say 9-11. And I have to say that now with that, a level up has a lot of free space to ward around the Baron, which spawns in 10 seconds. And it's the crucial objective for them. Now, in order to push
Has been
on
popped,
the
but I'm
Baron-
not sure where he is. Oh, he is in the bot lane. I think it was just about to expire. So the
Yes.
Camille popped the Reap Herald in the bot lane. It will do its own work right there. But yet again, I want to focus on how second wins the team fights, but not the correct ones. And Zizou has been caught. He's going to eat that cupcake right there, but the rest of his team is there to back him up. And he's going to be walking away without any problems. Oh, another hook landing. What are you doing right there? And the Orianna is going to face her fate. Somebody ban this Thresh.
And the Poppy is on the bot side of the map, on teleport. So that means that level up can force.
This
the
could be a
objective
Baron.
there.
They're picking the Baron. They're picking the Baron right here. The Xin Zhao is in the top lane. It could be a potential.
The real
Still,
question is, they have the damage to do that as fast as they want.
I don't think so. The Xin Zhao will be there in no time, and this could be a make or break for level up. We have seen a lot of Barons and fights
flash
being
from the
lost, but
Maokai.
flash from the Maokai to get that Xin Zhao down, and now there's no contest on the Smite. They're just going to continue doing that Baron. But be careful because the Jinx ultimate could land at any point. The Poppy has been caught into 4 people off level up, but it's not going down anytime
They keep tanking
soon.
the Baron. They keep tanking the Baron.
They keep tanking the Baron, dominating for the Camille, who has got herself a Jinx right there.
Yes.
Don't want to follow it, or do they? They have got the Jinx yet
Want to.
again. Double kill for the Camille, 9-1-2. I have seen this score before. Thank you very much, Level Up is going to say. We have got the Xin Zhao. We killed the Xin Zhao, no smite.
now we can
This is
ban
a
it.
free Baron. Wait,
But-
I say free Baron,
Xin
but
Zhao-
we have seen a lot of them being stolen by a shockwave.
Yes, we have seen, and the Xin Zhao is going there right now.
Orianna
This is
coming
an extended
dangerously close. The ball is in the pit.
Oh,
That
the hook
sentence
wide.
goes wide, and let's see when the shockwave is going to happen. It's going to happen now. No, beautifully
Oh,
coordinated
baited.
stop of damage right there. Zinzao is going to go down. Killing spree for the ADC, beautifully coordinated right there from Level Up. Everybody stopped the damage when that Baron went on 900 health. Shockwave happened, then very easily smited afterwards by the jungler of Level Up. And I think this game is going the direction of the previous one. 7k ahead for Level Up at this point.
Great communication there from Level Up, like patience. They totally control the health from the Baron in order not to be stolen by the Orianna, and now it's where they will focus on sieging because they have the Caitlyn with the extra long range. They have caught the Poppy there.
That sentence
Oh.
goes wide, but there's so many other ways to get to that Poppy. Legendary for the
Excellent.
jungler of Level Up. Beautifully coordinated and played so far by Level Up. It is really, really well played what we have seen from them so far. I am very impressed.
Maybe the next team that will face the Level Up roster practically need to think about a respect ban on the Camille.
Maybe the Thresh as well?
Yes, surely the Thresh, but the Camille also, because the Thresh making the
Flash
best of the Camille.
hook going wide, and the Zinza has dived literally himself into Level Up, which is going to
Almost
force the
killed her.
flash from the Karma.
Almost killed her.
He is very, very strong with that red smite, and of course the cleaver that he has right there, but another flash going forward, and it is going to mean rampage for the ADC
Look at
of
the Thresh.
Level Up, but Poppy got 2 so far. Another one is going to be going down. Triple kill for the ADC of Level Up. Quadra kill for the ADC of Level Up. And if we count the kill that she got before onto that Maokai, that would be the pentakill for her.
think
I mean,
it's over.
I'm sorry, I mean, on Lulu, it will be the unofficial pentakill, but it hasn't ended
Yes,
yet. It
it
could be the pentakill. We have our first pentakill of this season's qualifiers, and oh my god, what a beautiful way to close this first best of 3. We're gonna give a huge good game well played to Level Up Rhinos, ending this game with Sat style pentakill for their ADC, bowing down to that Camille yet again. The Dublin Penguin has made his appearance yet again, and of course we have to give a big thank you also to only second place for participating. Of course, don't worry, because we do have a chance of seeing them again or our next third qualifier.
I have to say that summing up the game, the LP5 Rhinos tried to translate, as you said, their gold into objective.
Exactly.
And that was the clever move to do, because they had a lot of things that they take from the map out of the hands of the only second place. And if we look closer at the last two team fights, Thresh doing excellent work with the Karma, trying to zone away enemies from the Caitlyn free-shotting, and that's why the pentakill into the last fight, practically free-shotting all the fight long. The death sentence onto the Orianna was beautiful there by the Thresh, gave up the fight his team, and then practically Lulu gave up the pentakill going and walking out of the fountain into the Caitlyn.
I will agree. Very solid stuff from Level Up Rhinos. Of course, only second chance did put a very solid, fair fight. But again, like we said before, it was so much kill focused than potentially getting an objective focused. And Level Up Rhinos had their sights on that from the start. They were like, look, we might lose the kills there, but our main focus is the objectives. Every single kill they took reflected into an objective every single time, and that's what gave them the edge in this game. Of course, congratulations again to them for qualifying, and it is going to be our third team joining our group stage. And yeah, any last thoughts before we close?
Excuse me, I didn't listen to you.
Any last thoughts before we close?
No, I was about to say that, well, DD well played to both teams. Well played to Level Up Rhinos that qualified for the group stage. They're gonna have to share the company of the red and white squad of the Red Stars from the last time, from the last qualifier. And if I'm not mistaken, the Random 5 from Bulgaria, really interesting team also.
Exactly, and of course from today, X25 joined them also. They won their series on the 2-0.
On the other game of the semi-final, do you need the result of the other game of the semi-final?
I don't know. Do I? I just called it. It's a 2-0 for X25. And for us, guys, we're gonna leave you. That was our second qualifier being done. From myself, Dr. Paras, and Kostas Masaropoulos. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in our next qualifier. Make sure you take part. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.